draft coverage will begin in just a few moments, folks, and we got a lot on the docket, so stand by with us. For those of you watching on PS3 TV as well as CSTV and on all of our radio networks, just stand by with us. We're going to be cutting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on CSTV, which will be 7 p.m. Pacific Time, because they have a pro wrestling program, which is fabulous, by the way. So we're going to do this thing. Stand by. And the deals are going to be flying around already. All right, folks. We got a little while before the draft begins, and I want to thank everybody for following along with me and the guests that I am going to have. Now, I did plan this, but I kind of didn't plan it because there were some people that said they could join me. Unfortunately, they cannot. Oh man, it has been quite the busy day. So let's just get started. But Lamar Jackson got paid today. Lamar Jackson has gotten his deal. And why? I will just say this simply. Why? He basically negotiated his own deal, which is going to set off a firestorm of, how can I put this nicely? I can't. Okay, a firestorm of narratives. And when I say a firestorm of narratives, I mean just that. A firestorm of narratives of how this can be done and how that can be done. And I'm thinking, what? I'm just like, why? Why? Who does your team pick? Let's give you the deals on the Lamar Jackson deal. He went from wanting out of Baltimore to the largest deal in Ravens history after 27 months of challenging negotiations. This is from ESPN.com. Jackson reached a 5-year deal with the Ravens on Thursday, and the agreement is worth $260 million, making Jackson the highest paid player in the league at $52 million a year. It also includes $185 million in guaranteed money. Sources previously said Jackson was seeking the $230 million in guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson got from the Cleveland Browns, and we all know how that has turned out so far. Kyler Murray received $189.5 million in guaranteed from the Cardinals as part of his 5-year, $230.5 million extension. Jackson said, quote, "For the last few months, There's been a lot of he said, she said, a lot of nail biting, a lot of head scratching going on. Then Jackson held up the football, the Ravens logo, and said, but for the next 5 years, it's a lot of flock going on. So he remains with the Ravens for the next 5 seasons. And we're going to have we're going to have a lot of discussion about that. If I can get Mike Doherty up here from Frisco, Texas, to talk about that deal. Mike, if you're interested, let me know. And for anyone that wants to come out, I'll drop it in the chat. And Mike just echoed my thoughts when he said, "Nice contract for a partial player. He's going to need to keep upright." Well, yeah, part of it is on him. The other part is on the organization finding him an offensive line, because they haven't had a good offensive line since 2019. They have not had a good offensive line since 2019, period. And that is, of course, the year that he won the unanimous most valuable player. And I still want to know how he won a unanimous MVP when all he did was run the football for 1,000 yards. I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson as a professional football player. And that is given the last 3 years where he was supposed to be the most dangerous player in the game, or one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the game, and I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Throughout the course of tonight, when the picks start flowing in, I'll give you Brian's bet slips on which way I think the picks are going to go, and the odds will come to us courtesy of Vegas Insider. That's where we will get our information. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I've been running around taking care of a sick wife. So if y'all will stay with me, I'll come back. When I get some guests in, we'll have another discussion topic. And then at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, Eric Kwan shot a question. Is Will Anderson the best player in the draft? Simply put, no. There are others that are better than him in this particular round of this particular draft. But let me take a break, and I will be back. Thank you, Chris Berman. I'll be back in a little bit. Stand by. All right. We'll keep the music going as we count down to the first round of the draft. And here is Dietz joining me this evening. What up, Dietz?
Hey, what's going on, Snowman?
Good to have you as always, my friend. Always great to have you.
Always great to be here on draft night. And let me do.
See, we've been kind of teaming up back and forth, but we're making this a full out effort tonight. First time in 6 years we've actually had a chance to like really team up.
Yeah. Yeah. This has gone on for a couple of years now. Usually we're doing this either on your show or on my show, and now we're double teaming it and getting it together. I'm excited. I'm excited to do a live show.
I'm excited to have you. I'm excited.
As anybody knows, anybody that watches the NFL draft, anybody that's ever covered the NFL draft, those 15 minutes, they take forever. and when you're doing it alone,
it's a long 15
minutes.
I mean, when I did it before in 2021, I think you were with me that night. You and a couple of others were with me when I did it 2 years ago, but I didn't get through the whole draft because, well, quite frankly, my body gave out. And I was at the height of my health problems at the time. Want to welcome those of you watching on CSTV. We'll take y'all up until 7 o'clock Pacific time, which will be 10 o'clock Eastern time. And for those of you watching via Fit Down Sports Show, thank you. I got invites out to a lot of people that could come on tonight. We got a couple questions here, and let me get your input on this while I'm waiting for some stuff to come in from CSTV. Eric Kwan asks, is Will Anderson the best player in the draft?
Yes. The short answer, yes. Long answer is the versatility that he brings to the defensive side of the football. You can put him at outside linebacker. You can put him at edge. You can put him at edge and have him rush. And for people that question him, all I say is I akin this guy to Micah Parsons. And what did Micah Parsons do? Well, we saw it. Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year. Last year, he follows it up with being the runner-up to the Defensive Player of the Year. And I mean, that's the kind of level that Will Anderson plays with. And what I love about Will Anderson is when given the chance last year, you knew going in they had missed the CFP, they had missed the college football playoff.
Right.
They had no business playing in the Sugar Bowl.
None.
There was nothing. Alabama is not going to walk away and go, we won the Sugar Bowl last year. Like, all right, yay.
Right.
But when asked, are you going to play, Will Anderson stepped up and was the reason why, hey, I'm going to be a top pick, but I'm playing because this is my last game. And didn't want to go out on the Iron Bowl from last year being their last game. Him, Bryce Young, and Will Anderson was credited. Bryce Young credited Will Anderson with being the reason of why all those guys played in that game.
Yeah.
When Will said he wanted to play, that meant I had to play. So that tells me he's a leader already. Already coming into the locker room, he's a leader.
Yeah. Yeah, and whoever picks him is going to get a hell of a player. They're going to get a hell of a player. Dietz will work on his lights, and we're going to make sure everybody gets situated. There you go.
I'll be switching rooms in about a half hour when the draft starts, because I'm going to put the draft on gonna go into my draft room.
Oh, you got a war room?
Yeah, I got a war room so that I know it's not a spectacle that needs to be viewed.
Man, who cares?
But watching the draft is always a fun time.
Dietz has a war room. All right. For those of you that have hung with Dietz and I for the past 6 years, we've always said we'd have a war room, and we had wanted to do a war room together. We just never had the opportunity, Dietz being on one side of the country, me on the other. But doggone it, you have a war room tonight. I'm excited for that. I'm absolutely excited for that.
I mean, I got everything. I got my chips, I got my soda. I got everything ready. I get ready for the draft like it's the Super Bowl.
As you should.
That's how much fun. When you're a college football guy like I am,
and you've been the best.
Dan, the draft is the merging of both of those loves.
Yep.
Because you're sitting there talking about, well, this guy, I saw this guy in college. This is the difference between the NFL draft and every other draft.
Right.
Whether it's hockey, baseball, basketball, football does it right. And people can say, people should be able to go. They should be able to go to the NFL draft whenever they want. They shouldn't have to wait. The NFL does it right.
Yeah.
And people talk about, that they hide behind safety as the reason. Oh, it's safety why we make people wait 3 years.
Yeah.
That's not why they do it.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. The NFL does it so that you watch these guys for at least 2 years.
Yep.
Get to know the players that are being drafted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the guy last year. The guy last year, last pick in the draft, was Brock Purdy.
Yep.
We watched him play for 3 years at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
We watched him for 3 years and knew exactly who he was, and he was the last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
There are NBA draft picks that are in the lottery that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, like Victor Wembanyama, perhaps.
Whether they played in another country or whether they're just some kid who was one and done in college.
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama, anyone?
Yeah, I have
Do
no
I need to go any further? Do I need to go any further than that?
No idea.
Do I need to go any further than that?
You watch. We just got off March Madness. You watch, and I do. Chad Ford break down this is where this guy's slotted to go in this year's NBA draft. Mm-hmm. You watch his top 15. I have no idea who half of them are. Half of them I'm like, wait,
I don't know who they are.
What did this kid do? Where did he play? I don't know anything about these kids. Baseball is the same way. Baseball's the same way, but baseball does it in a good way.
Yeah.
Hey, if you get drafted out of high school, if you don't like your spot, you can go to college and you're guaranteed, you go there 2 years and 2 years later you can be redrafted.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a best of both worlds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still don't know who any of these kids. You still have no idea who any of these kids are.
No, you don't.
But the NFL, every single guy, every single person in this draft. Mm-hmm. If you've watched college football for 2 years, there's a big chance you've seen every one of these kids play at least once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who would have thunk it about one Brock Purdy, right?
And that's the thing. The NFL has instant marketing. The minute they hit the field, you have people who are behind them. Every Iowa State Cyclone is behind them.
Mm-hmm.
When Brock Purdy plays in a big game, they fill up, as we call it, the department store in Ames, Iowa.
Yes.
They fill up. They watch him on the big screen TV there.
They sure do. That's
instant marketing for the NFL. You can't buy that kind of publicity.
You really can't.
The NFL. But the guy who makes out like a bandit tonight is Roger Goodell.
Mm-hmm.
This is Roger Goodell, 364 days out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Everyone, whether it's fans, players, the owners hate the fact that they're paying him all this money. They're paying him all this money for tonight. Mm-hmm. And he does, for everything that Roger Goodell does that we can get on him for, he does a great job at the draft. He stewards it.
Yep.
I thought when COVID hit and he had to do it from his chair in his living room.
Yeah.
I think it opened the world to everybody being like, this guy's actually pretty funny. He gets it. He plays with the fans. He lets them boo. He lets them boo him. He lets them throw whatever they got at him. And he hams it up really well. So we have to, when we're covering the draft, we have to mention Roger, because every other day, if we mention Roger Goodell's name, it's usually, man, what did this guy do now? Or what stupid thing is happening in the league that he has to deal with?
Oh, yeah. Let's take a break. I'm going to take a little bit of an extended break because I'm still hungry. I'll be back. We'll be back in a little bit. We'll talk about Lamar's deal. And there's some rumblings coming out of Tennessee in which Dietz said earlier they're going to figure out what they're going to do with DeAndre Hopkins. May have an answer when y'all get back.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. That would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
Hey everybody, Brian Snow here. Want to do some afternoon sports talk with me and be interactive? Also meet some great guests from every walk of life? Then tune in to The Brian Snow Show on CSTV and CSTVNow.com. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Hey y'all, Snowman here. Catch me, Cole Johnson, Wise El Jefe, and the usual cast of characters as we bring it to you every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's called Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and it's right here on CSTV and CSTVnow.com. Join us, won't you? All right, we are back. As we will take you through the draft, we're getting everything ready for it. Dietz joins along with me for the ride tonight, and we got some questions up here. Michael Doherty out of Frisco, Texas, asks this question: where is Bijan Robinson going? Your thoughts?
It's a very interesting question. A lot of it depends on what Tennessee does with Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
If they move Derrick Henry at some point during this draft, I could easily see Tennessee picking him as high as 11 in this draft.
Really,
I could see, and when I say high, for a running back, that is extremely high. Based on last year, the first running back was not taken until Breece Hall went at 34, I believe, which is the second round. So we haven't seen a first round running back in a few years. There's plenty of places I could see him going with the Dallas. I could see the Dallas. Excuse me.
Whoa.
I could see the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
They have to replace Zeke Elliott. They have Tony Pollard. As their speed guy, but they need somebody who can bang in between tackles. Well, that Bijan Robinson fits him perfectly. Why not add a Texas guy to the Dallas Cowboys roster? So a lot of spots that he can go, and he would fill a lot of team needs at the running back position. So I could easily see him going some point tonight.
Well, there are some rumblings coming out of Arizona. My Cardinals insider, Michelle DeMuria, says the Cardinals are working on a trade that will send DeAndre Hopkins and the number 3 pick to Tennessee.
I would imagine that would have to be to get Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I would think so.
Derrick Henry would have to be the return, and I would assume you would get Derrick Henry and they would swap. They would. Arizona would drop down, and we talked about this earlier. That's the key spot to me. I think. The key spot is what does Carolina do with the number 1 pick? But we kind of know what position they're going. We just don't know what the player is.
Yeah,
and then we assume Houston will get the fallout. Yeah. From that, we know. At the quarterback position, it's a 2-headed monster.
Yep.
And that's why I go back and forth, but I'm not really hard strung in a debate with people. Hey, take CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Well, either one's going one. They're going to go 1-2.
They're going 1-2.
It's just a matter of which.
It's
just a matter of which order and which team they go to, and then we can debate who's going to have. It's akin to Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning. We knew that they were, and I know everybody laughs at the Ryan Leaf part, but when it was in that draft, it was Ryan Leaf or Peyton Manning. Yeah. Which one do you take? And they went 1-2, and then we debate. All right, who got the better deal? And we can go with all that. Mm-hmm. But tonight, they're going to be 1-2, so it's really. It's really up to who's your preference. But the real spot is Arizona, because if they seriously are trading DeAndre Hopkins, do they replace him with a wide receiver in this draft, in a deep wide receiver, in a wide receiver deep draft?
Yeah.
I would assume moving DeAndre Hopkins would be a great thing. But then we have to, if that's the case, then we have to start having the discussion of how toxic is DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
When you've been traded 3 times when you've been traded to 3 different teams and kicked out of 2 different locker rooms,
in a year.
At some point you have to start saying, bringing this guy in, great talent, but it might not be good for our team.
Well, here's a question for you, and I will tackle this question first. Who is your top tight end on the board? Well, the top tight end is still playing. That of course, is Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
But, well, hey, he posed the question. I answered it. Let's answer it honestly. I have a wild card at tight end. And Dietz, you've known me for 6 years. You know that's one of the positions I pay attention to the most. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy when I make this pick. But my top tight end on the board is at South Dakota State. And his name is Tucker Kraft. 6'5", 255. A whale of a blocker, but can also catch the ball. And reminds me of one Dallas Goedert. Only difference, Goddard's been beat up a little bit, but Kraft is one of my tight ends on the board. Who's one of yours?
My top tight end has been my top tight end, and I'm not gonna lie to you. He's in the top 5 on my board, and that's Michael Mayer from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
You watch Notre Dame play last year. And I did because I do have to throw it out there. I am a Notre Dame supporter, not a fan, but I do watch Notre Dame. And I watched every game with Michael Mayer. This guy is uncoverable inside the 5-yard line. There's every time Notre Dame got inside the 5, all they did was either throw him the ball or hand them the football. Just hand them the ball. Like, you don't do that with any other tight end in any and you do that with tight ends who are like, 6'5", 180. This guy's 6'5", 251.
Yep.
That to me says a lot. And I love what this kid can bring to an NFL. I think tight end is because we saw it back in the day, back in the heady days of the Patriots.
Yes.
They showed you how tight ends can make an offense work. And you've seen everybody. The NFL is a copycat league.
Yes.
There is not a team. There's not a good team out there. Then go back and look at every team that played in the championship weekend.
Yep.
In most of the playoffs, every single team has a stud tight end.
Very, very much so. Mentioned Goddard with the Eagles, George Kittle with the 49ers, Travis Kelce with the Chiefs. Right?
And maybe the Bengals get away with it because they have massive talent everywhere on the field. And I've actually seen drafts where they pick up a tight end. This is such a tight end heavy draft. Tight end probably the best position in this whole draft, not just player wise, but depth wise. And you mentioned one guy I like to really put on the front burner is Dalton Kincaid.
Yes,
from Utah.
And
you want to get a view of Dalton Kincaid? Go watch the Pac-12 championship game, and watch when it was a game. When it was a game late in the game, USC was making a comeback, and Dalton Kincaid literally ran through every single guy on the USC defense on the way to a touchdown. I think he broke 12 tackles on the way to a touchdown. That is a tight end.
And it iced
the game. he to me could sneak into the first round here, but will be a high second round pick if he doesn't go here in the first round.
Let me welcome Kevin Peoples in the house with us tonight, sporting the Philadelphia Eagles. I finally get you on the program with me. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I was just waiting on you to let me know when you need me on, man. I come with presents. As you see,
Okay.
I do rep my Eagles.
All right,
I do have a lot of information.
Which means I have to do something. Which means I have to do something for you.
Which means I have to do something.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord!
Don't do this. See. And being as
if you're gonna rep your ego, I'm gonna rep my Tecmo Super Bowl Dallas Cowboys.
Being as pixelated as that helmet is, that's as far as their Super Bowl goes back. So yeah, that makes sense. So
you know what? I think the best tribute to that shirt is the one Cole Johnson says every time when he says, with the pick, the Dallas Cowboys select the off season.
Yeah,
and Dietz doesn't off, and Dietz is one of the few Cowboy fans that doesn't offer an argument.
Oh, yeah.
So let me find what I need to find, because as it turns out, Tom O'Boyle, who is tuning in from Reno, Nevada, is a Philly guy.
Oh,
and with that in mind, I found what I needed to find, and I may as well do it now.
I know he's gonna hate it. He's hating it right now. He's like, what is that?
Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly.
I love it. I love it.
On the road to victory.
EAGLES Eagles.
When the NFC Championship was going on, and my wife were watching it here, and Hassan Reddick made the play of all plays that basically sealed the NFC Championship.
And sealed the fate.
I looked at Jody, and she looked at me, and she says, "How do you describe that?" I immediately went on Facebook and typed 2 words: Hassan Chop. Which A, is one of my favorite cartoon lines, and B, it effectively described and ended the NFC Championship game.
It literally did, and also probably ended the quarterback's
Purdy. Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, yeah, probably ended his season this year. He's not even.
No,
he's not going to play. He's not going to play. He's not going to play next year. He had to have Tommy John surgery because
they say he's on par to play maybe somewhere around week 6, but he doesn't even have faith.
He doesn't. He's not going to play.
Now,
which brings me to a wild card pick for my beloved 49ers, and that wild card pick is Max Duggan out of TCU.
Really?
Yes. Ooh. Note the words I put in front of it.
Got him.
Did you get him?
I got him.
Good. Note the words I put in front of the pick. Wild card.
Okay.
Note the words I put in front of the pick, because Dietz and I talked about it briefly this afternoon about how 2 quarterbacks that played in here are the words, national championship game are far down the board.
Right.
And I asked you,
they both could be on the board by the time we get to the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. My question to you though, Snowman, is what round? Because
3 or 4.
Will the 49ers get desperate? And
49ers don't pick till the 3rd round. They traded their entire draft.
The Niners are going to be, by the time the 3rd round gets here, and they have 3 picks out of 4, 99, 101, and 102. I think Duggan and or Stetson Bennett is going to be there, and they're going to snatch one of them.
I see more Stetson being your backup because
Yeah.
you guys are not getting rid of Trey. Let's put that in. If Brock Purdy's not ready, Jimmy G is gone.
Yep.
Trey is still there. Trey is gonna be your guy until Brock gets
Wrong
back.
answer.
Sam Darnold's gonna
Wrong
be the
answer.
They signed
Darnold.
Sam Darnold. They signed Sam
Darnold.
Darnold to be the starting quarterback this year.
Just a
He's
minute.
He's a 1 year Band-Aid.
We have seen Sam Darnold be the one Band-Aid that gets ripped up every season. Though we've seen.
But here's
him
the
get
problem. But here's the
demolished.
difference. Have you seen Sam Darnold with effective weapons?
This is true. I give you that.
Have you seen him with a competent head coach and an offensive minded head coach?
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I was going to give you that.
The
I was going to give you the coach. The coaching is what. Because let's be clear. I mean, you can literally. Like they try to put Jalen Hurts. They try to say, "Oh, he's in a system." No, the 49ers have a system. Jalen Hurts is the system. So if you were to put,
would you say that again, please? Because I've never heard more truer words spoken about two totally different situations, but the same situation.
Exactly.
The 49ers have a system. Jalen Hurts is the system.
Yeah.
And speaking of system, this is the song that's played over the PA system at Lincoln Financial Field when the Eagles scored. Now, y'all heard my version of it. This is the official stadium version. With the animations going, right?
Yeah. I can't wait to go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to a game this year.
You didn't make it to one?
I have not last year, and I wanted to go. My plan was to go because my wife is a Packers fan and she's feeling the heat right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know you saw my Facebook post. I mean, she's hurt. So,
she's got to be in pain. The entire state of Wisconsin has got to be in pain this week.
Hey, man, speaking of, she's sitting here looking at me.
Oh, is she there?
Yeah, I'm about to
Tell her, come say hi. We won't pick on her badly.
He said, come say hi. He said, come say hi.
That's all right. Luke Fickle will pick up the state of Wisconsin.
But see,
my God, no. Wait for it. She's literally putting this on just for you.
Hey, there it is.
What the hell is that?
Now, I bought this for her from a friend that went to the game.
How do you say your wife's name?
Genevieve. Or you can call her Jen.
Jen, you ain't gonna like me for this, but all I've got to mention to you are two names: Colin Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, no, she's not like that. No.
Do I need to say anything else?
No.
If you're a Packers fan and you don't have a cheese head
Wait a minute. And that made her remove the cheese head. Given the last time that the 49ers played the Packers in the playoffs, the one name I should never say around her again is Deebo Samuel.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no.
All I have to say is she's leaving.
And that made her leave the room. Deebo Samuel.
I hope she knows I'm kidding around, and I mean nothing.
I should have had you at my wedding. Where were you when I needed you?
Probably here. I was either here or I was under the knife last year. Okay.
No, but getting back to it.
Then I really don't need to say 3rd and 7.
No, please don't. Please don't. No. Look,
wait.
I have to go to sleep.
Last one. I have 2 calls in my stable, courtesy of my wonderful producer, Cole Johnson, my wonderful executive producer. One by Wayne Larrabee, who I absolutely adore as the voice of the Packers, and I had a chance to meet some years ago, and one by Greg Papa, the fabulous voice, the voice of the 49ers.
Voice of the 49ers, yeah.
Each involved the same play. And I don't have to say 45 yards.
There's so much history in between those, in between the 49ers and Packers. I don't think people understand.
Listen, Brett Favre used to kick our ass in the playoffs every chance he got, okay?
Was it
two straight years, 95 and 96, Brett Favre tore us to shreds.
Was
Terrell
White on the team?
It was 5 straight. It was 5 straight until Terrell Owens.
And then Terrell Owens' miracle.
Terrell Owens, yeah.
Terrell Owens' miracle in 1998. I tell you what, with that game, after Antonio Freeman made the catch that put the Packers ahead.
I love that one. That's one of my favorite games from him. I used to love Antonio Freeman, by the way.
And number 86 out of Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
When Antonio Freeman made the catch to put the Packers ahead, my mother came upstairs with a cheesy grin on her face because my mother was a Bears. God bless my mother. I lost her a couple of years ago. She was a Bears fan. And she says, now what about your 49ers? I said, Mom, Steve Young's got the ball. That's all you need to know. And then Terrell Owens happened, and I yelled my lungs out. My dad came upstairs and gave me a hug, and he said, I knew you wanted that one for the 49ers. I'm like, you better believe it because I'm sick and tired of Brett Favre kicking our ass.
That was the last game of Terrell Owens.
Yes.
He became T.O. after that. After that game, he became T.O. But when he made that catch, he was Terrell Owens. And when you saw the tears come out, that's when you knew, all right, you had hope for him. And then he became T.O. and the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Well, Stetson, Michael Doherty has this comment, and I want to get Kevin's comment on this. Stetson Bennett will do extremely well in Frisco, Dallas, Miami, or Atlanta. Where does Bennett land? Which team has the best chance to grab him?
Well, I will say, and I will also throw in, I won't exclude a couple of teams. I will not exclude Minnesota because Kirk Cousins is on his last leg and last year of his contract. So let's throw.
How does Ben Sutter III say it? If you've watched any part of my hour 2 intro, Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins.
2 Chainz.
So when Cole played that intro, because he played it the day after I came back. A day after he played a day after I came back after I was sick, and all I had to hear Ben say was, "And if I see Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins," I fell out of my chair. I fell out of my office chair and was rolling.
I have to disagree with Michael.
Okay.
On one aspect of this, it would not be a good fit in Atlanta.
No.
And we know Atlanta has QB, but Atlanta is fully bought into Desmond Ridder.
I don't think they are.
You can't put Desmond Ridder and you can't put him in a QB battle with another rookie and expect both of those guys to flourish right now. Right now, what you need behind Desmond Ridder is a veteran backup type quarterback that, hey, a guy that if we have to go to him, we're okay with it.
Right.
But Desmond Ridder has to be your guy. He showed you last year he can do it.
Mm-hmm. I beg to differ. I see where you're going with this, but let's look at this picture of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh dear God, no.
Hell
to the no. Hell to the no. Do you know Bennett would be ruined by the Carolina Panthers?
No. I'm not saying that he's going to the Carolina Panthers, but look at who they drafted a first round pick last year.
Mm-hmm. They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again tonight. They're going to do it again tonight.
So with Bryson, and they're going to push either he's going to, if the last year's first round is going to start this year, or he's not. They're going to push him to the brink and probably get rid of him.
But that's why they trade. That's why they traded up. They're not sold. They're not sold on their guy. They're not sold on their guy that they picked last year.
That's what I'm saying. Atlanta's not either.
Atlanta put him in over Marcus Mariota at the end of the season.
I mean, look at Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota. That system did not fit Marcus. They were desperate.
They were.
Atlanta pulled a move, grabbed Marcus Mariota. Now Mariota's with the Eagles now, but guess what? He's in
What
a
is Marcus
coaching.
Mario? What is Marcus Super Mariota doing with the Eagles?
I'll tell you. Let me explain.
The only thing he
Here's the
can,
reason
backup
why
quarterback.
He's
always been a backup quarterback.
Here's the reason why. Because he fits the Jalen Hurts type mobile quarterback plays. So if you had like last year,
his time up? Isn't Mariota's time up?
He was just in a terrible play call book. You put him with Marcus Mariota in the Jalen Hurts playbook, you pretty much get a, let's say, a B plus type Hurts player. He's gonna fit in. If Jalen Hurts gets hurt, Lord forbid, knock on wood.
He's not
gonna do with what the Eagles' backup quarterback did last year when Jalen Hurts got hurt.
Right.
He's not going to be Gardner Minshew losing to the New Orleans Saints. I mean,
he's not going to be Gardner Minshew. He's actually going to. He knows the RPOs. He's an RPO type quarterback.
Why'd y'all bring the mustache into this conversation? What's up with that?
Look, I like Gardner Minshew, but he's
a backup.
He's a Carson Wentz to me. He has moments. That's it.
That's a slander to Gardner Minshew. Is not Carson Wentz.
I mean,
hell, if you think about it, that's a slander to Nick Foles, who brought y'all a Super Bowl victory.
I mean, you talk about Gardner Minshew is the guy who beat Carson Wentz, and I know Jody's sick, but that was the Colts. All they need to do is beat Jacksonville to get into the playoffs.
Oh God!
And Carson Wentz went full Carson Wentz on.
He went full Carson Wentz. You know what's bad though? I told Dietz this story. I will tell Kevin this story while he's here for the duration of the night. The last 2 games of the 21 season, Jody kept up with me, kept up with everything I was doing with the show, and she says, okay, what needs to happen? And one of my good friends is Matt Taylor, the voice of the Indianapolis Colts, radio voice of the Colts. And I said to Matt on the air, I said, we can't look past the Raiders. And he agreed. They choked a 10-point lead in that game, lost at the buzzer. And then we get to Jacksonville, and I woke up that Friday. Jody looks at me and said, I know you have to talk about Jacksonville. Just do it when I'm at work. And I said, Jody, honey, are you as spooked as I am about that game? She says, do it while I'm at work. Trust me.
I want to hear it.
She was not in on us winning in Jacksonville to get to the playoffs. She was not sold on that at all. And Lord only know, and I knew why.
So okay? I mean, how does she feel? She's a Jaguars fan, right?
No,
she's a Colts fan.
No,
she's a Colts fan.
Hell to the no.
Almost.
Hell to the.
By the way, can you highlight what CSTV put in the comment? I like that. Eagles did ruin.
Mariota will be a backup forever.
They ruined Carson Wentz.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. As a legit Eagles fan, of course, me. I literally think.
Wait. Now you're turning into Chris based on me. I
can't help it because I have to be. I humble myself as an Eagles fan.
Yep.
I know there's some that can be very annoying. I know there's some that can be very uptight and obnoxious. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna be.
You don't know. You don't know. Listen, I have a segment I do every Tuesday, called the Cubdom Experience. The only thing, and I exclude Dietz and Ben and Victor from this realm. The only thing worse than living with a Cowboy fan, which I had to suffer through, is living with a Chicago Cubs fan, and I did it for 2 years. What the was I thinking?
Well, you see what I'm living. My wife, I have to,
But see, all you have to do is mention 3rd and 7 to her.
No, I don't have to mention that anymore. All I can mention is the Jets. That's all I have to say.
The Jets.
Jets, Jets. Yes.
Do you want to sleep on the couch?
I'm going to probably feel this later on.
Do you want to sleep on the couch?
It's gonna be probably on. You're probably gonna see on Facebook or somewhere on the news. This just in: Kevin was murdered in his sleep. That's probably what's gonna be.
No. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see this just in: Kevin decorated in cowboy gear while he sleeps.
Oh man, look, I'll never look. Those are grounds for a divorce. No,
you ain't gonna. She wouldn't. She wouldn't do that to you.
No.
Okay.
She hates the Cowboys. She hates the Cowboys just as much as I do.
And that is why she wouldn't. And that is why she wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
That's exactly why she wouldn't do that to you.
But
that's exactly why.
Getting to what he said, it brings a very interesting. It's something very interesting about what the Eagles, because the Eagles wanted to force Wentz out, which ruined Wentz. It literally ruined Wentz.
Quick note: the draft has already started. The Panthers are on the clock. 15 minutes are running. Go ahead, Kev. Keep going.
We know who they're going to get.
We know who they're going. I did it. Listen, I did it on my bet. I did it on my bet slips earlier today during the afternoon show. Bets are flying all in. Bryce Young's going to be the first pick. We're just waiting on a confirmation.
So here's let me ask you this then.
It's 2, 3, and 4. It's 2, 3, and 4 that are going to mess people up.
So let me ask you: do you think the Texans will ruin the draft?
Yes.
I'm 100% sure
they're going to ruin it. Listen, and I'm going to make Dietz laugh by borrowing one of his lines. You know how the Texans are going to ruin the draft? They're in it.
They're going to ruin it by being the Houston Texans. Well, I want to put it.
Oh no, your wife is on here now.
Oh, here we go. I want to put a stamp on this.
Genevieve, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about it, because we will be live until the end of round 1. Well, we already know who they're going to pick, but her wife is crazy.
But the other problem with Stetson Bennett being drafted by the Atlanta Falcons is Atlanta. Look, the Falcons are big. Okay, the Falcons are a big team. Okay, yes. They're not bigger than Georgia football. No. They're not bigger than the Georgia Bulldogs. And this is why we brought Georgia not 1 but 2 national championships.
But
if
that erases
in Atlanta, the pressure to play him and play him early from that fan base will come, and it will come hard. And if he doesn't win the starting job out, that could be bad.
I have a problem with him.
If the pressure to put him in day 1, and he's not ready, that could send him spiraling. That's another reason.
Oh Lord!
No, I have a problem with Atlanta trying to draft. I don't think they're going to draft him. They're not. There's no way they can draft.
Yes, they are.
They are going to draft. Look,
okay,
right,
listen.
Here's what's going to happen. They need an offensive line.
Well, we know that.
If they don't draft Bijan, they're going to gift wrap the Eagles Bijan if they don't draft him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need a running back on top of that either, though. Let's just say that, because they got a rookie from last year that rushed over 1,000 yards. They also have what's the veteran? Hit me with it. They have for the Atlanta Falcons. They have a veteran there.
Yeah, they have a veteran. They have Cordero Patterson. A wide receiver who can't catch, so they had to put him at running back.
So
that's his whole career.
Every team he has been with, the Vikings, the Bears, the Falcons, found out the hard way.
The
Patriots. Here's my problem with the Falcons organization.
And the Patriots. Thank you, Dietz. And the Patriots.
Here's my problem with the organization of the Falcons. The Falcons are literally going to ruin their season this year.
I will tell you, what's wrong with the Falcons? 28-3.
That too. But
28-3 is big.
Look at their organization. They want Bijan Robinson. Now I just named
bad. They want Bijan badly.
I just gave you two running backs that they have on their team for the next 2 to 3 years, and that's already 1,700 yards.
But they're not. But it's Atlanta.
Exactly.
It's the Atlanta.
They have two running backs on their roster, and not one of them is Bijan Robinson.
But that's my problem. There's no need. If they want to be successful, they don't need
two running backs, and now
they also have Desmond Ridder. They don't need a quarterback. So why are they going to be looking at two players to come in and give you the same production where they can literally go out, get a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, maybe even a safety, because they need a safety bad. It's
because they need a guy. They need a guy who Desmond Ridder can hand the ball off to on third and one, and you know he's getting the first.
And I will go back to my original. I will go back to my original reasoning. I will go back to my original reasoning, and it's in the form of this sentence: these are the Atlanta Falcons. Just as I said a few moments ago, these are the Houston Texans.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Do I need to say anything further?
Those are two teams that are, and it used to be the Jets. The Jets used to be the worst team when it comes to picking draft picks and so forth.
You saw what your wife, I can't put what your wife said up, but you saw what she said.
The goddamn Jets, yes.
Right.
So it used to, and like I said, the Falcons, now you got the Texans. Like, it's like they try to sabotage their season. Now, I will say, with the Texans new head coach, they're going to draft Will Anderson. I don't see a problem with that. Will Anderson, they got a defensive-minded head coach. What's his name? I forgot his name from the Falcons.
I got to ask him a favor. Do not repeat that comment again, because we just got yelled at by Tom on CSTV, and I'm so sorry about that, folks. Hey, look, I wanted to say it too, but we will keep it clean from here on out. We're on two television networks, wonderful television networks, and I don't want to mess things up.
My bad. That's on me. It's not him. But
it's on Jen for repeating it, for posting it.
I blame my wife. I get to do
one of the few times you can.
But I literally think the Atlanta Falcons are looking to sabotage their season. Now, it wouldn't be smart. Here's another reason why I think they should not draft Stetson or the other quarterback.
Max Duggan.
Mm-hmm. The reason why is because, and the 49ers too, they should not. Here's why. The quarterback is going to be next year's draft is going to be heavy with really good quarterbacks.
Yeah, but none of them are Max Duggan or Stetson Bennett.
They're going to be better, I think. I think they're going to be. You got some really high competition. The Oklahoma quarterback.
Such as
I used to watch the Oklahoma quarterback on the Netflix special.
Not interested. Next.
I forgot his name. But there's going to be some. Then you also have.
You mean the USC quarterback, Caleb Williams?
No, not Caleb Williams. This is another one. Caleb Williams will be good now.
No, he won't.
He's the only one. He's the only one I see right now. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have guys that come up and guys that shine during the regular season that we're gonna go. All right, this guy can be a guy. There's only two first-round quarterbacks that I see coming into next year's college football season. It's Caleb Williams,
one,
and it's
I forgot
the kid that Notre Dame just picked up from Wake Forest.
Sam
Hartman.
Sam Hartman.
Sam Hartman.
No!
If Sam Hartman were in, I don't know who's advising this kid, but if he were in this draft, he would be the number 1 pick right now. There wouldn't even be a thought.
I hate Travis Kelce right now, what he just did on the damn show.
What did he do? What did he do?
Him and Patrick Mahomes brought out the Super Bowl, and it was a shot at the Eagles.
Are you crying?
I want.
Are you crying?
What did you expect? What did you expect to happen with the draft being in Kansas City?
Yeah, with him on Saturday Night Live and what he did to his brother Jason Kelce, I love them though. I watch their podcast a lot.
But why are you surprised though?
I'm not. I'm just.
Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that they are playfully sticking it to you since they stuck it to you in Phoenix, Arizona?
Like the knife, and then the twist, and then another twist, and then another twist. It's like, oh, stop.
Well, y'all twisted the knife amongst yourselves when you let the same play go for a touchdown twice.
Whoa, hold up.
Whoa, nothing.
That was on our defensive coach, and I'm glad we got rid of him. And how we did, I don't know if y'all know how this played out, how he ended up the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. The defensive coach from the Eagles.
See, that explains the Cardinals ruining themselves right there.
Yes. So
that explains. Listen, first of all, as Dietz will tell you, wait a minute. As Dietz will tell you, and he has told me quite a few times, we got about 8.5 minutes left on the draft pick. They're just wasting time before they say Bryce Young.
Yeah.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
I mean, the Arizona Cardinals hired Cliff Kingsbury and kept him for 4 tumultuous, awful years. That's the first thing.
Well, three awful years and one, hey, we made the playoffs here.
So,
like I said, they kept
not
him
not awful, but not great.
So I can't say god awful either.
Yeah.
Well, they
Thank you,
more
Kevin.
awful now. It's what's worse than god awful? I mean, it's terrible. They let
Cliff Kingsbury come in and absolutely destroy their entire roster to play Cliff Kingsbury style football, and now they're making a switch. Now they're making a switch. That is the biggest rebuilding project that you have to take over.
And it's going to take.
It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take years. It's going to take a lot of talent.
Yep.
I'll tell you.
And the one piece you have that could be your saving grace, he wants out of Dodge.
No, it's
he wants out of Dodge real quick.
It's two. They also have their safety, Buda Baker, who wants to come to the Eagles, who may be traded tonight, and that's my wild card that he will be traded tonight to the Eagles. That
ain't happening. That ain't happening. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put some odds on this. Here's a special Brian's bet slips. Kevin says Buda Baker will wind up with the Philadelphia Eagles. I say no.
I said wild card.
What do you all think?
I pulled a U. I said wild card.
You pulled a me.
Wild card indeed. I'll put that at 5% chance.
5% chance. What do you got? What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think in the chat? Does Buda Baker get traded to the NFC champions?
Here's my reasoning. The Cardinals' new head coach is the Eagles' defensive coach from last year.
And your point is?
Glad he's there. So we have leverage. That's
Why
my
are you
point.
Wait a minute.
Buda Baker wants out.
Do I have to ask why you're glad he's there because he cost y'all a Super Bowl title?
Yes, he was our reason. He ran a zero coverage in the zone.
We got some breaking news. We got some breaking news here. There may be some history in the NBA. The Raptors have received permission to interview Becky Hammon for their head coaching position.
I like
that too.
Now,
I like that too.
She was supposed to be Greg Popovich successor,
Mm-hmm.
because Tim Duncan turned it down here in San Antonio, and it was supposed to be. She took off.
I met Tim Duncan. He's a tall drink of water.
Yeah, he's
when I had a chance to cover the Hornets and the Spurs with my good buddy Bill Schoenig, who's the radio voice. Not only did I get a chance to meet Tim Duncan, I also had a chance to meet one of my other favorite forwards who plays better than LeBron James, and Sean Elliott. And yes, that is
I thought you were going to say Bruce Bowen.
Don't tempt me. I'll do that next Wednesday.
So
I'll do that next Wednesday. Tom says no, he won't be traded.
What makes you so possible? He wants out. He wants out just as bad as DeAndre Hopkins. So my question to the commenter though, what makes you think he won't be traded? He wants out. He wants a new contract and he wants to be gone. Now it's up to the Bears, the Eagles, and if I wasn't mistaken, I think it was the 49ers because they don't want the Bears to get him.
Right. They don't want the Bears or anybody else to get him. Sam joins us in the chat, says, I thought they get Buddha, especially after getting the second rounder. Sam, come on up if you can.
What second rounder?
Sam Shady.
Sam Shady is in the house with us. And I just got a picture of, oh, my Lord. Is this a Union Station in Kansas City that I'm looking at? Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Courtney is at the Eagles draft party. Ben will join us in a little while.
This is the part of the draft that annoys the hell out of me.
Yes.
You're the Carolina Panthers. You've been on the clock for 4 months.
5.
Why is it taking you 15 minutes? Why is it taking you the full 15 minutes to make this pick? You should have this already done.
You know why? You know why? The NFL wants to make it dramatic. That's all.
They want to bring in money. The pick is in.
Yeah, the pick.
And we're going to see Bryce Young's name light up here in a moment.
You just think they're done with trading? I don't think they're done. I do not think they're done. And the reason why is because we lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Granted, we picked up a really good safety from the Steelers, but we lost 2 safeties. So we need a safety. We have a really good backup.
Should have been bang 1 and 2. They wasted an extra 15 minutes on something that has basically become a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it's obvious. Come on. Will Anderson's going second. My question, though, Snowman.
Yes.
Will Anderson.
Yeah, Will Anderson's going number 2. Yes.
Hell to the no, he ain't going second.
Houston's taking the quarterback.
Houston is taking C.J. Stroud.
No, they're not. It's already been said that they are not taking C.J. Stroud. Anybody in the comments who disagree, please send me your money. I want your money, please.
But see, the only reason I mean this jokingly because I am married as well. The only reason you want the money is so you can pay off the Packer fan in your house.
You know what? That would be a nice dinner I could take her to with y'all's money.
Wait. Oh, it's Bryce Young. Bryce Young. Bryce Young is in. Yep. We kind of knew that was coming. Houston's on the clock. Here's Big Ben from BS joining us tonight.
That's good.
What is going on with you, Ben? I am so happy. I'm so happy to have you this evening.
I had to wear it. Now, I wish I would have got a Parsons jersey though, but I had to wear it.
So, which jersey do you have on? It's
a Dak jersey. Let me hide number 4 though.
So
next season.
I appreciate you wearing the 4 because that's what another 4 seasons of having Mr. Interception himself. I love it. Highly appreciate it.
All I have to remind Ben, but see, Ben is a rational thinking Cowboy fan. And he's a very rational thinking Cowboy fan, like Dietz, like Victor Locke, who is standing by. We'll get to him when the Bears pick later on here in the first round. But I
I'm
thought
reasonable.
the 4 would be 8. I thought the 4 would be 8 for you, Ben. To honor an actual quarterback.
I have,
and of course, I don't mention the 13 seasons of Romo in Dallas.
Yeah, that was another Rocky. Man, we've had a lot of Rocky. Up.
Yeah, but we also had Captain America. We also had Captain America play for us. So that's okay.
Dear. Yeah. Ben Sutter joining. Ben Sutter joining us.
That would be
here.
Roger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Captain Comeback. Yeah, Captain Comeback. Yeah, Roger the Dodger. Ben Sutter joining us here from the BS3 network, who's carrying our special tonight, as well as CSTV. Tom O'Boyle. I'm hoping to get Tom up here for a couple of minutes. Michael Doherty in the chat joining us from Frisco, Texas. But see, as long as we're talking Cowboys and we're awaiting the pick for Houston, I want to say it's going to be Stroud, but
it's not.
It's probably going to be Will Anderson.
Will Anderson, I'm telling Ben.
Well, here's what I heard.
It's Will Anderson if it's not CJ Stroud. I'd still be shocked if they don't take a quarterback.
Ben, I would say they take Stroud. Who on that roster could be a starting quarterback right now? None of them.
They have a defensive-minded coach. Keep that in mind.
Davis Mills is not a starting quarterback.
Right.
Driscoll, Davis Mills.
First-round picks. Remember that. They're going to get their number one. Who's behind Bryce Young? Who's the best player available right now? He's a defensive player. Will Anderson. Who's their head coach? A defensive-minded
Will Anderson.
coach.
But you can go out and get better. You can go out, not get better defensive players, but you can get defensive players later on in the draft. You can't get another guy like CJ Stroud. It's Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, and then the next guy is Will Levis. The drop off between CJ Stroud and Will Levis is farther than any other position.
Who eats bananas with
way farther.
Who eats bananas with
the pick is in. The Cardinals are on the Cardinals are on the clock, and we're waiting to see what the pick is.
Here it is.
And
it's not
Sam says it's Stroud. I think it's Stroud, but
come on, Ben.
Kevin and Ben seem to think it's Will Anderson.
Come on home, Will
Anderson. I think it's going to be Stroud. I mean, you have a lot of defensive players in this draft.
Right.
And with DeMeco Ryans being a defensive-minded coach, though, he'll be able to find guys. Because the drop-off is so low.
The Cowboys have the wrong coach.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have the wrong coach.
You can't draft. You can't draft a head coach. That's
the Cowboys did in 1989.
Look at what their defensive coach
with Jimmy
the Texans
did when they drafted
the 49ers.
They had Jimmy. They drafted Jimmy Johnson, and Jimmy Johnson was given full autonomy and actually did what he was supposed to do.
Here it is. It's coming in.
Yeah. By drafting Miami players, by drafting guys he brought to Miami. That was his.
And one of them
deal.
I had the pleasure of meeting, who's from my hometown, Russell, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say the biggest one was Russell. Everybody forgets how good Russell Maryland was.
I can't forget him because he played at one of the schools I covered, which was Whitney Young.
The ingredients for the Texans pick, first round pick, their first pick, has to be defense. I mean, let's just like saying I'm at a grocery store and I'm in need of
cheese.
And my favorite thing is a grilled cheese, and yet I get ham.
Here's my rebuttal here, though.
Oh boy!
If you're not going to win anything, say you draft a defensive player, I don't think they're going to actually win anything with just a star defense. You're going to need better than Driscoll or Davis Mills.
We're still missing the second round pick. The second round pick.
You need a starting quarterback.
But the drop off is heavy. The drop off is
heavy.
The drop off is let me use Ben. Let me use this word. The drop off is ignorant.
That's what my grandma would say.
Can I use that word and get away with it? CJ Stroud. I told you. The pick is CJ Stroud.
This is good for the Eagles. I told you. This is good for the Eagles right now. Oh, this is good for the Eagles.
Y'all ain't getting him.
You want Bijan? You want Bijan?
Here's my thing. All right, look. So if CJ Stroud, that's two quarterbacks, right?
Right.
Number 10. We got two picks, just like the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
We will end up with, man, I'm so happy they did that. Now we have a chance at either Bijan Robinson or trade up to get Jalen Carter.
You know what?
Jalen Carter is at number 5. Look for the Eagles to go up and grab him.
You want the Eagles to trade up? You want the Eagles to trade up for Jalen Carter?
Yes, I wouldn't mind.
You just drafted Jordan Davis last year. If you trade up right now, you're trading up to get Will Anderson.
Best line in the chat right now.
Yeah, wow.
Why, Houston?
Now, let me answer you right quick, because yes, we drafted Jalen Carter. Do you know there's 2 defensive tackles in the system that they run for defense, right? Now look at the
the other one that you have is one of the greatest of all time. He's on the top 5 greatest of all time.
Hold on. He's on a 1-year contract, right? Fletcher Cox is on a 1-year contract. After this year, they are not going to be signing him again.
Yes, they are.
He's old. They are not going to re-sign.
So is Jason Kelsey. Next question.
A 34-year-old defensive tackle. He's not coming back next year. Just like Brandon Graham is not coming back next year. You have to get young on the defensive line. Am I right, Ben?
You're right about that. I agree with you there. Now, do I agree with you saying Jalen Carter though?
And you replace Brandon Graham with Will Anderson. And Will Anderson can play. And Will Anderson can play this year. And
all right,
he's not going to be a spot guy.
Quick programming note, gentlemen. After this pick by the Arizona Cardinals, we're going to take a break. Then when we come back, I'll welcome Victor, and then we'll continue the shenanigans on through the first round tonight. Who do y'all think the Cardinals will take? Let me start at the top with Dietz. Who do they go after?
I'm on the fence here, but I'm gonna go with them taking Will Anderson.
To the bottom with Kevin.
But like I said earlier today, if they could go wide receiver if they plan on moving DeAndre Hopkins.
Smith is the best wide receiver in the draft. Smith is not being drafted in the top 10.
He's not.
I guarantee you
but
that.
That's okay.
I can guarantee you that.
There's gonna be some fighting words. To Ben, who do you think the Cardinals take?
O-line. I think they take
Cardinals
O-line.
are either gonna get Parrish Johnson or what's the other kid's name that
Skoronski.
I really like? Skoronski.
Yeah, they need somebody to respect their, protect their investment.
Tom says they go it'll be another quarterback. Tom thinks quarterback. I don't think so.
Why are people?
They just paid
Kyler Murray.
Whiny baby. They just paid Whiny baby.
They just paid Whiny Murray.
That dude gets paid to play Call of Duty.
I don't blame him though. He cried and they backed up the Brinks truck.
All right.
On the organization.
Let me bring everybody in now. Victor Locke joins us from Chicago, and then we got Al and King Doc from Kansas City in the house with us this evening. Gentlemen, good evening to y'all. We are on pick number 3.
Go Cowboys! Go Cowboys!
Man, shut up. See,
hey, we got the trophy, baby. We got the trophy, man.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, this Red Kingdom, bro.
You got it.
Ain't no eagle flying over here right now, man. It's all this right now, boy.
I'll give you that. Congratulations.
King Doc, are you having fun at the draft tonight?
We're gonna get y'all a look at it. Hold on.
Let's see the look. Look at that.
Ben, we gotta be there next year.
We got to, yeah.
Oh, we're going to be next year. We're going to be at the combine. We're going to the draft.
Really want to do that.
We're going to Super Bowl 58. We got a whole bunch of stuff planned. Hey, Doc, you having a blast in Kansas City?
Hey, man, having a blast, man. I sung the song on the way in town, Kansas City, here I come. You got some good-looking women, I'm going to get me one. Hey, they out here, bro. They out here, man. Listen.
Al, you got the advantage because you got the hat on.
Yeah, he said because you got the
Al has the advantage. He's wearing the hat of the champions. He's wearing the hat of the champions.
Uh-oh.
A minute 45 left on the clock.
So
look at Star.
That tells me right there. They're trying desperately hard to trade this pick.
Yeah.
I
think Tennessee's going to be the recipient of this pick.
Tennessee is going to give up a lot.
Texans are trading number 3. Texans are trading to number 3.
Yep. The Texans have traded with Arizona, which means DeAndre Hopkins going bye-bye. DeAndre Hopkins is going bye-bye because what my insider was telling me, what my insider was telling me. What my insider told me is Mike Florio is reporting the Cardinals are working on a trade. This was an hour and a half ago that will send Hopkins and the number 3 pick to the Tennessee Titans. Right now, it's to Houston. So now Houston's on the clock.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Will Anderson.
Hopkins going back home.
But who do you pick though?
Fingers crossed here. Tell me DeAndre Hopkins is involved in this trade. It will make me laugh so hard if he gets traded back to the Texans.
Back to the Texans. And the pick is in.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson?
Yeah.
Is it Will Anderson?
That's what I'm predicting.
The pick is in right now.
Look, there's no way that Will Anderson can fall any further. He's the best player on the board right now.
Not according to
Hey,
this.
what did they give up for that?
What are we doing?
Not according to this. Pick is in. So what is the trade? What is the official? I'm waiting on my Cardinals insider to hook up with us tonight. We got a full house here tonight. So what is the trade?
We'll see. They'll probably put it up on the screen here.
What is the trade? We're all waiting on the details. The first 2 quarterbacks went as expected. 1-2, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. They just put all the timing out for money and everything. Here
it is right here.
All right, Ben, what you got? Ben, what you got for us?
So the Texans trade pick 12, 33, and the 2024 first round and the
Will Anderson.
2024
It's Anderson.
third round.
It's Anderson.
For the third pick.
And the third pick is Will Anderson. Third pick is Will Anderson.
It makes sense.
Out of Alabama. It makes sense. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the draft. The Indianapolis Colts are on the clock next. You're watching and listening to live coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft presented by Snowman Multimedia. Back in a minute.
Sure. We all know ghosts exist.
I'm getting a really dark energy.
But if you trying to hunt them, there's one simple rule you gotta follow.
What the hell was that?
Guys, hurry up and get the hell out of there. No matter what happens, stay calm.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, my God! Oh, hell no!
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Okay, that's a balloon. It looked like it was a demon.
Wow.
We be fly for nothing. We be fly for nothing. O-E-O, mucho. Run it.
So where are we going?
A haunted pinata shop.
What?
An old Korean brothel.
Oh, Lord. A funeral home in Compton?
Yeah.
You don't like us, do you?
It's business.
I get fly for nothing. I roll with OPO.
Official paranormal operations, baby.
We got infrared cameras set up all over the place.
Whatever's in there, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Y'all down with it?
What the is this? I have robot strapped to my abdomen.
What the hell is going on?
Are you with us right now?
You okay?
Guys, we got action.
I feel like something's in here.
Don't nobody want you with us.
Man, they got some going down in there.
It could be a succubus.
Suck you, huh?
It's an energy that feeds upon you in a sexual way. Like,
Not with the teeth like that?
oh, yeah.
We be fly for nothing.
All right, investigation's over. This bitch is haunted as.
It is wild this evening. Welcome back to our coverage of the NFL Draft. Let me welcome Victor Locke in the house with us this evening from Chicago. What's up, Vic? I think Victor, I think you're muted, buddy. You pushed the wrong button again. Let me introduce the panel. Al High and Ivan Dawkins are with us from Kansas City. Kevin Peoples joins us, Eagles fan, joined by his wife, Genevieve, who's a Packer fan, and I can't wait to see what they do with that pick. Of course, you got Chris Dietz, who's a Cowboy fan, along with Ben Sutter, who's a Cowboy fan. And then you got yours truly representing the Colts, who are on the clock right now, thanks to my beautiful wife, and also the San Francisco 49ers. And they don't pick until the – oh, you get – why you got to go, man?
I have to go on a little bit, man, because actually this was unexpected for me to jump on today because we had.
Did I ask you a week ago? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go on and take off, my friend.
I will. You guys have a good one, man. And we'll connect.
I feel bad because we had a 20-minute discussion about who the Texans would take, and they end up taking both of the guys we said.
Yes, they did.
That means we know what we're talking about.
This is the miracle of the NFL draft. We literally have a 20-minute conversation. Like C.J. Stroud or Will Anderson, and they end up drafting both.
Pick us in for the Colts. Chad Snake take a quarterback. Let's see what they do here. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern for Ghosts in the Hood on video on demand on CSTV. Of course, with BS3, we got Wise and Poppy J that'll come tomorrow. Cole Sports that'll come tomorrow, and of course, Snowman in the Morning anchors the programming. That all starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. And tomorrow we're celebrating a very special birthday as my executive producer and one of my best friends, Cole Johnson, turns 50 tomorrow. So
awesome, man.
Every plan, I will warn Ben right now, every plan that we had for the show tomorrow is going bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, it has to. The best producer on the planet.
It's going bye-bye. Because we got the best executive. We got the best executive producer.
My question is, what did Ray get Cole for his 50th birthday?
I can't answer that aloud. Kev, you've seen Ray do his thing,
yeah,
right?
I'm not answering that.
You don't need to. None of y'all, especially Victor, who watches with me every day. Dietz is with us every Thursday. Everybody on this panel has seen the show. You don't need to ask what Ray has gotten Cole for his 50th birthday because you see it every dollar on Wednesday. All right.
If you look, what's the saying? If you know, you know.
Yes. If you don't know, you will know.
You bound to find out tomorrow.
You about to find out real quick. Seattle follows the Colts. We're waiting on the announcement of who the Colts picking
on right now,
who the Colts are picking. Cardinals got a nice haul. Too bad they suck at drafting. Did we not say that earlier tonight?
We did.
Did we all not say that earlier? Oh, Anthony
Whoa, Anthony Richardson?
Wow. Anthony Richardson out of Florida.
I told you he was going in front of
somebody was going to take that chance.
Somebody,
You're right.
somebody took a chance.
That means he
Now
jumped.
Seattle's on the clock. Let me get
jumped 11.
Al. Let me get Al's thoughts on that pick by Indianapolis. Them picking Anthony Richardson. Are you surprised at that pick, Al?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
We can hear you.
All right. Did y'all mention about what the Texans traded up to get the
to get Will Anderson? Yep, we did. Are you surprised? Right. Are you surprised that the Colts selected Anthony Richardson?
Yeah, we just saw it. I got mixed feelings about it. I'm not really sold on Anthony Richardson already. I think he does need to sit for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Just off of the rawness of Richardson, and he needs to sit for a full year and learn.
I'm going to tell you why before I go right quick.
All right.
Why it's key for Anthony Richardson to be on the Colts. Here's why. Guess who is also the new head coach for the Colts this year?
Eagles offensive coordinator.
Exactly. Who was under his belt as a quarterback?
Jalen Hurts. You're right.
So what is Anthony Richardson? He's a Jalen Hurts protege. He's going to look at him like a project of Jalen Hurts, and he's going to make it work. They just need an offensive line now. Look for them to get Peter Skoronski to climb up in the board, or the other Alabama O-lineman who's going to be late in the 30th, late in the first round for them to pick up.
We will see.
I still believe. I think he'd be good because of that offensive.
Look at every one of these plays. Look at every one of these plays that they're showing right now.
Can everyone hear me now?
Every single one of these plays, Anthony Richardson running around like. I'm sorry, but that's not NFL football. That's college football. Anthony Richardson is a great college football player.
Yeah.
You can't do this in the NFL. You can't do this in the NFL. What I'm watching right now.
He
will get murdered.
I'm
scared. I'm scared.
You can do it. Now
Jalen Hurts can throw the ball. Jalen Hurts was a Heisman Trophy candidate because he could throw.
No, you cannot say
not because he could run, because he could throw.
All right, Brian. Now,
yes,
he said Jalen Hurts can throw the ball. I was one of those guys last year. As an Eagles fan, I will attest to this. I will put my hand on the Bible and I will tell you I did not believe in Jalen Hurts' arm. Nor did I.
Nor did I.
No Eagles fan. He proved himself by his work ethic. He worked hard at it, and he all offseason. That's all he did.
Well, that's
now,
what.
Granted, he's got targets like Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Number 11, Mr. Elite, number 11 wide receiver.
AJ
Brown. Now, and not to mention Dallas Goedert. But he's got targets now, but he worked on it. Anthony Richardson, being that the new head coaches from the Philadelphia Eagles did exactly with Jalen Hurts, look for him to do the same thing with Anthony Richardson and make him into the same project. He's going to get him some weapons. He's going to protect his quarterback. He's a really good offensive coordinator.
You really think Shane Steichen will work magic with Anthony Richardson?
He's going to be, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say an 8 with Anthony Richardson. He's going to be not as successful, but he's going to be somewhere in there.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
We got you.
There we go. All right.
We got you, Victor. Darnell Playmaker Solins joining us, and Kevin, if you got to take off. We don't want you to be late. All right, we love you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Victor, what? I'm looking at this pick by the Colts, and I'm asking a question I'm probably going to repeat about 100 times tomorrow morning.
Why?
What the hell?
Yeah, your guess is good as mine, buddy. Your guess is about as good as mine.
Because I had Anthony Richardson not in the first round.
I don't think a lot of people did. I don't think many people really
I did not
going in the first round.
Ben, where'd you have Anthony Richardson falling? It wasn't here. It wasn't in the It wasn't here.
I mean, I had him below Levis. I did have him in the first round because, to Dietz's point, somebody was going to pick him in the first round. If you look at the combine, hype in the combine conversation, somebody was going to take a chance on him in the first round. It was just depending on who it was going to be. So I had him in the first round. I didn't necessarily have him going this high, but hey, Baker Mayfield went 1. So, hey, this NFL draft, everybody's going to take a risk.
But again, those are guys who can throw the football. We're talking about guys who can throw the football.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was a Heisman Trophy winner because he could throw the football. Jalen Hurts in college did not have a game where he didn't pass for under 200 yards. Anthony Richardson has 2 games, not 1, but 2 on his record where he threw for less than 100 yards. Threw for less than 100 yards in a full college football game.
And we talked about
that's not NFL material. You cannot win that way in the NFL. It's not possible.
And we talked about CJ Stroud basically doing the same thing against Northwestern, throwing 24 times and only having 76 yards. Seattle's pick is in, and
I guess this is the week of first for me.
Victor, you see the look on my face.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
This is a week of first for me. I got a chance my first time of actually being on stream with Dietz on Tuesday.
Yes.
We actually got a chance to chop it up. And now I'm getting a chance to meet the legendary BS3 now.
Yeah. Cowboys Nation, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
But see, you guys are functioning, thinking, critical thinking Cowboy fans. There's a huge difference between the 3 that I have on the panel with me talking about Cowboy fans and Cowboys Nation, which is headed by
the rest of Cowboy Nation,
which is headed by Screaming A. Smith. Do I need to say anything else?
I couldn't agree with you more about the fact that the Cowboys have the wrong coach. I mean, we are still dealing with Pennywise the dancing clown. We have not got him into the deadlights yet. He has not gone in by the way of the sunken place. We need to get rid of him. He needs to go.
He said, gone by the way of the sunken place.
Yeah.
You realize, Victor, I'm going to use that tomorrow. You realize that?
Yeah. He's.
I got to use that.
They put it all in his court. They put it all in his court this year. There's no excuse. Because
I shouldn't ask why. I was thinking to somebody else, but they put it all on him when he signed the dotted line. Did they not?
They did, but now they put more. They've put more on him now. That if you want to blame whoever, now all the balls in your court. What are you going to do?
You know what? The last play of the NFC Division playoff should tell you everything you need to know about Coach Pennywise.
I agree with you.
Because you had 2 shots to change the play. 2.
You had the whole second half. You couldn't seem to figure out how to score in a game that you were in.
And they only had 6 points in the second half?
Yeah.
Both field goals?
Horrible. That's horrible.
Both field goals.
What lost the game was in the second quarter. First and 10 inside the 20-yard line.
Seattle takes a cornerback, Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. Let me get Dietz's thoughts on that pick.
Wow. They obviously fell in love with this kid. They fell in love with the speed that they saw at the combine. I've been up and down with corners in this draft. He's 4th or 5th on my cornerback list. Just from watching him play this year.
He's a first rounder now, and he's got a lot to prove in Seattle.
And he's the first one off the board. I mean, where's Jay Spivey when we need him to talk about J.C. Horn from last year?
Yes,
this is J.C. Horn 2.0.
That's all it is.
And what we do with the combine is that we just think oh, they did well at the combine, that's going to equal them playing well in the league, and it does not always work out that way.
Well, yeah,
Just
but you're
'cause
not
you run
fast though.
just
You're
'cause-
not fast when you're at the combine.
right. Just
You're not
because you run
You're not
fast.
going against 300, 400-pound linemen, and
You said something, Victor, that is so key. They're out of pads. They're out of pads. They don't have pads on.
They're not facing any opposition in the combine. I'm not saying that it's not at least somewhat of a decent indicator, but it's not going to be like a full-on simulation of what's going to happen when it's week 1 and it's going to be you versus that entire defensive line or that entire defense as a whole, whether it's
Right.
corners, safeties, linebackers coming at you with blitzes, 8 in the box. You don't have what they're going to do on that in the combine.
See, what we need to change in the combine, and I believe they need to change this immediately, is installing game situations in the combine. They need to install game situations in the combine, because that's the only way I believe you can measure what a player is going to do for your team. Am I wrong?
No, like have a goal line situation where it's like, first and goal on the 2 or first and goal on the 1,
and see what happens.
And put a defense on there that's either going to do a full blitz or maybe
no one would participate.
Because
I'm telling you right now, no anybody who has an idea of being a top level pick would never show up for that.
They would be scared of getting hurt.
I'm just saying right now, if you're projected to be in the top 10, there's no way you show up to put pads on and anywhere near the combine. And that's not the combine is not people get mixed up on what the combine the point of the combine is. The point of the combine is not. I've talked about this for years about the combine. The combine is what it is it's a chance for these guys to show their greatness. And when you watch coaches at the combine teaching the drills, hey, we want you to do it this way. This is what scouts are looking for. We want you to be good. They stop the play. If they see something wrong, they'll stop the play, go up to the kid and say, hey, here's what you did wrong. Do it. The scouts here can see that you can do this right.
Yeah.
That's what the combine is for. It's to make the prospects look good. It's not to highlight anything else other than the greatest parts. And that's why you need to take the combine with a grain of salt. You need to take the combine. Yeah. What the combine should do is match what you've seen on film.
On film.
If a guy comes out and he's wicked fast like Devin Witherspoon here, you need to go back to the film and go, all right, why didn't that transfer to the season? Or you go, all right, I see why he's good in press coverage, because he's that fast. It matches. Yeah. All right, good. Move on. If it doesn't match in either way, like if all of a sudden he ran really slow, you would go, all right, let me go back, look at the film, see why he looks faster on film. Let me go see why he actually why we have a discrepancy. That's what the combine is for. It's to match what you see or to define what you're seeing. And that's the problem. People don't go back to look at the film.
Then explain Anthony Richardson going to the Colts, if you would. Explain that.
Because people, there is a sect of general managers and people who believe in the combine. I mean, just win, baby. Al Davis lived by whoever the fastest guy is at the combine. We're taking him. It didn't care what position they played.
Dietz, let me interrupt you. We have a trade because the Lions are no longer on the clock.
They were on the draft board. If you ran a 4.240, boom, you were going to be a Raider. That was Al Davis's. Yeah. That was Al Davis's calling card.
Well, we got
and there's a lot of people that live by, hey, this guy had a great combine. that's going to transfer over.
Well, we got to trade now because the Lions are no longer picking. The Arizona Cardinals are picking. This is where I think they make a move for a wide receiver. We will see in a couple of moments.
We'll see if this is the first wide receiver off the board.
Well, I mean,
are y'all surprised? Let me ask a question. Ben, let me come to you while we await the announcement of the pick. Are you surprised Bijan Robinson's still on the board?
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Okay.
I think, the running backs have been devalued in the league. It really shouldn't be a running back going in the first round,
right?
Unless you're like an exceptional talent,
like Adrian Peterson back in the day.
Yep, Adrian Peterson,
or Emmitt Smith.
I would say Derrick Henry. You can put Derrick Henry in that conversation. More of a recent guy.
Henry, Barry
but
Sanders.
Bijan is going in the first round at some point. But I'm not surprised. He shouldn't be going this high.
Yeah,
I'm still questioning who's going to actually throw to these receivers on the cards. I don't know who their quarterback's supposed to be.
I question that too.
I mean,
no, I don't.
Murray.
Small legs.
I said this to Brian a couple of times. Kyler Murray is the type of person who will play Call of Duty all week long and then on Sunday play like booty. You don't need that.
We've seen it for 2 years.
They've invested in him. They are not moving away from him. So it is what
they should.
Is.
Well, I guess they're not will get him the Call of Duty championship because I go for Super Bowl.
You know how I feel. They should move away from him, but they're not.
They will not. No.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but then against the Arizona Cardinals.
I mean, the top wide receiver, as far as the big board, would be Smith and Jigba from Ohio State. I don't know if that's who they would. I don't know if that's who they're going after. But you got a tackle.
Oh,
I would say you go. You get the tackle. One of these tackles.
They went tackle. They did. Paris Johnson.
They did. Paris Johnson out of Ohio State.
There you go.
Okay,
that makes sense.
He was one
makes
I
a
was
lot of
hoping
sense.
the Bears would pick up. Actually, he was actually one I was hoping the Bears would be.
Yeah, that's one Victor mocked at 9 for the Bears. Paris Johnson.
Because you need a tackle for the Bears specifically. You need either a guard that can open up a hole for a sprint, or someone who can seal off a corner for like a toss play.
Yeah,
because you need someone who can help seal off that corner for a lot of routes that are going to go, in between the sidelines rather than in between the numbers.
Yeah,
and
they went O-line.
That makes sense.
Now the Raiders are on the clock. The Falcons are next.
Yeah.
So has the draft gone to plan for you guys so far outside of the 2 trades we've had so far? Let me come to Ben first. Has the draft gone to plan for you?
No, I was not expecting Anthony Richardson that high. Devin Witherspoon, that kind of makes sense. Corner is a high commodity. If a guy can truly play corner, I mean he's valuable. Besides no, actually no, it has not gone to corner.
Yeah, Tom's got to check out. We'll be ending our stream with them at 10 Eastern Time, 7 Pacific for wrestling program. Thank you, Tom, for checking in with us. We're staying with everybody else until the first round completes. We're at number 7 right now with Atlanta waiting in the weeds. What do the Raiders do? Let me come to Victor first. What do you think the Raiders do?
Oh, Raiders. Honestly, I would say Raiders could either go maybe a receiver, possibly a tight end. We haven't seen any tight ends really be talked about. So possibly a tight end.
That's a good point. They don't have Waller anymore. So that's a good point.
And that tight end should be Tucker Kraft out of South Dakota State.
Yeah, that's not happening though.
I know.
These people are in love. These people are in love with these tight ends.
Ben, logic. Okay.
Logic, yeah.
I say logically it should be Tucker Kraft out of South Dakota State. Now you and I and Victor and Dietz both all know it's not going to happen that way.
Right. Yeah. Oh, this is a big.
Now here, don't they have? Is that guy's name Foster? Not Monroe. Miro. I think is he still with the Raiders? Yeah, he's still with the Raiders. I'm assuming he's probably going to be the starter.
Are you talking about Hunter Renfrow?
No, there's a guy named Foster Miro. I think he's probably. Let me look at their depth chart real quick. Austin Hooper, as of right now, would be their starter. They're starting tight
Well,
end.
Hooper's getting the keys day one to tight end
You're talking about Foster Moreau.
Foster Moreau.
That was the guy last year. That was the guy last year who filled in for Waller while he was hurt, and absolutely made Darren Waller expendable.
So because he filled in for Waller, it made Waller expendable. Was Waller expendable because of his injuries, Dietz?
Injuries, and because they have two guys right, but they have two guys behind him that can fill a spot. They moved him to save cap room so that they could bring in Jimmy G because that cap they needed that cap space for that. So it made sense to get rid of Darren Waller. I mean,
Plus, I think he had
when you look at a team like the Raiders, I don't think the Raiders really need any offense. I think this pick is Jalen Carter. I think it's Jalen Carter from Georgia.
Well, like I said,
he's the
defensive tackle,
the number 2 guy on a lot of people's boards. So
you look at what the Raiders were last year. The Raiders were fine on offense.
Yeah, but it would make sense for them to go that way.
But who are we talking about here?
We're talking about.
You asked before, Snowman. You asked what if the draft has gone to plan. I mean, four out of the 6 picks have gone to plan. The two we don't know.
I think Jalen Carter.
I'm looking at the trade right now for Cardinals.
Victor, do you think
the Cardinals have traded away and what they've traded up for?
Let me ask Victor a question. Victor, do you think they go with the big fella Jalen Carter out of Georgia for the Raiders? The pick is in.
That could be a very, very good pick for them because I was just
looking at something that they were showing on. They were showing on my draft cast. I think they have to go deep. I think you have to go deep. I think you have to go defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do agree with Dees that that's a really good thing that you can do is go defense and maybe put another guy who's a good pass rusher.
Yeah.
And probably put some pressure on quarterbacks because we haven't really seen that tough dog defense of the Raiders.
I side with me too. Jalen Carter is a beast.
Yeah, he is.
He is absolutely a phenomenal athlete for how big he is.
Yeah, so if they decide not to go offensively with the tight end, and I think Jalen Carter would be a good option too.
Right.
Let's see.
All right, let's see what the pick is. I'm waiting to see what the Jets and Packers do at 13 and 15.
We know the Raiders already have that. They have a great pass rusher there. You get a guy inside. You look at what the Raiders did last year. They just couldn't stop anybody.
No.
They couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
They had a lot of close games last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been the story for them for a couple of years now.
Longer than that. And I feel for Garoppolo, and I got one reason why and one reason only. You know, Cole asked me after the trade was done how I think Jimmy Garoppolo will fare with the Raiders. And my response is simple. He'll be fine if Josh McDaniels isn't calling the plays.
Maybe too late for that scenario.
I was going to say find the line.
I don't know about that one.
Hey, he wants his hands all over that offense.
He does. He really does.
Why do you think I said find the lie?
I'm interested to see what happens here after the Raiders. The Atlanta Falcons. This will tell us a lot about what.
Oh boy. Folks, while we got the Raiders on the clock, please help me welcome Michelle DeMaria from the Be Daring Foundation. We're going to do a radio show and a podcast together, and she's my Arizona Cardinals insider. Good evening, Michelle.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
How are
Good to have you with us. Are you surprised that the Cardinals traded down?
Pick for the Raiders.
Yes, I was, but I had a feeling it has to do with Hopkins.
He'll be fine with Josh McDaniels.
I think a lot of this has to do with
They
Hopkins.
did a pretty good job in New England.
The pick is
They did
Tyree
pretty good in
Wilson.
New England together. So
the Raiders
they do have a history.
Raiders pick is Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech, 6'2", 271. Let me go to Michelle really quick. Michelle, how do you feel about this pick that the Raiders just made for picking Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech? Your thoughts?
I'm excited to see him play. Like he's got a lot of talent. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Definitely.
Good, very good. Ben, to you, your thoughts?
Wow, I'm a little surprised. He was 28th on the big board. So, but I think when it comes down to the draft, if you see something in a player that you want, and you've been wanting this guy, you just go up and get him. I mean, if you see something in him, get him. Don't wait. So hey, edge rusher is one of the big time positions, on the field.
Right.
So
right.
You got to do what you feel like you need.
The Falcons are on the clock next. Let me go back to Michelle and get her thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals dealing so far in the draft. What do you think?
I had a feeling Kyler was going to influence our first round pick. My gut told me that if we didn't trade Hopkins yet, Murray was going to be a huge influencer on who we picked. I'm excited. I forgot his dad played for us, so it'll be exciting to see what he can do for this team. We're in a lot of hot water right now, unfortunately. I hope we can swim our way out of that during the offseason. We'll see. But, I'm excited to see him play. I think he's going to do great things for our offensive line. He's definitely going to help keep Murray protected, which is what we need because we don't need him getting hurt again.
Yeah. We don't want to see Murray getting hurt again, but it brings to mind how badly the Cardinals need an offensive line, and they need an offensive line badly. This has been like our prevalent subject with all the teams that are with everyone that's drafting here in the first round tonight. Atlanta's on the clock. They have less than 5 minutes. Let me get Michelle's thoughts on this. Are you surprised? And I know what Ben thinks and what we think about Bijan Robinson still being on the board, and running backs not being picked, not supposed to be picked very high. Are you surprised Bijan Robinson's still available?
No. Quarterbacks are always big the first round. First round seems to go quarterbacks, offensive line. Running backs right now seem to be later on in the draft. I'm not sure why, but I think right now there's a lot of really good running backs. Teams are looking for young quarterbacks to mold, like Patrick Mahomes, and because there's a lot of up and coming quarterbacks that are getting older, and these teams have got to get the young ones in to start molding them, to start getting them ready for taking over the teams. Well,
there's two of them right now that went 1-2, like almost everyone predicted. Bryce Young to Carolina, C.J. Stroud to Houston. Let me get your thoughts on Bryce Young from Alabama going to Carolina. Are you surprised? What are they going to do? How are they going to mold an offense around Bryce Young?
Panthers are like the Cardinals. They need to revamp their offensive line. I think bringing him on board, he's got a lot of talent. He's raw. And his dad with his mental health is huge. Being able to help him mentally, I think that's going to play a huge role when really designing that offensive line around him. Who's going to be the strongest to help him come out on top and really take this Carolina Panthers to the next level, because they have struggled a lot since Cam Newton left, and we've seen it year after year.
Yeah.
They're like the baby Cardinals. Them and the Cardinals, they're the ones to watch, even though the Cardinals are flooding in ocean water right now. But they'll bounce back.
Speaking of the Cardinals, does Budda Baker stay a Cardinal through the first round, or do you think there's a trade imminent for him or for DeAndre Hopkins?
I think Budda stays. I've been watching press conferences left and right, and I think they are really trying to keep Budda, because Budda is the heart and soul defensive line right now. Once J.J. Watt's retired and we lost a lot of really good defensive linemen this offseason, Hopkins is a catch-22. He's awesome, but his personality is horrible. And right now, our staff does not want a guy who thinks he has a good chip on his shoulder when he was out 6 games last season.
That's exactly what Dietz said earlier in the night about how toxic DeAndre Hopkins can be. Ben has a thought. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, so I'm seeing some things on Twitter. You know how Twitter is.
Yeah, we know.
D-Hop possibly going to the Buffalo Bills. That's what's rumbling on Twitter right now. So we'll see if that actually happens.
The Buffalo Bills?
The Buffalo Bills.
Well, he said he wants to go there. He made it loud and proud that he wanted to take a pay cut and go there. We'll see. I love him as a player, but Brian and I talk about this all the time off screen. They need to be better human beings off the field, and that's where their mental game struggles tremendously. These players need a good kick in the butt, not literally, but just getting their act back together.
DeAndre Hopkins and the Buffalo Bills. Who does DeAndre Hopkins think he is? Andre Reed? James Lofton? Who's he think he is? Don Beebe?
He's a top wide receiver. His hands are.
He's not. DeAndre Hopkins is finished.
He's probably got the surest hands in the league. I mean, anything that goes in his vicinity.
Don't you ever look at me and tell that lie again.
He's got good hands, but his personality is horrible, and that's why teams are so afraid to work with him. If you notice his body language on the field, he's like, "Why didn't you give me the ball? It's all about me." No, it's not all about you, Hopkins. Right. There's more than one player on this team.
You know what did it for Hopkins? Miracle Murray, the play where he hit DeAndre Hopkins with a second left. Oddly enough, against the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
The walk-off touchdown in the desert. A Pizzle joining us from West Palm Beach, Florida. What's up, A Pizzle? Good to have you with us tonight. A Pizzle, if you get a chance, come up and join us for the discussion. Waiting on the Falcons pick, and then after the Falcons pick, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and have more. Victor, which way do you think the Pizzle's live as well. Which way do you think the Falcons lean?
Oh man, the Falcons have a couple. I think the Falcons are kind of like where the Raiders are. I think they need to shore up their defense. I mean, if this is time for Jalen Carter to go, he may end up going with the Falcons. I think they need to also shore up their defenses as well, because
I can see Jalen Carter going to the Falcons. I can see that. I can see two things. One, I can see Jalen Carter going to the Falcons to shore up their defense. And the second thing I can see, nutty as this sounds, Bijan Robinson.
To
shore up the running game.
Yeah, I think this is Lance Zierlein.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson
is now a Falcon.
It is Bijan. And I was thinking about that a second before they make the pick. I was thinking they were going to show up their running game.
Look at that. Well, Bijan is off the board. They really don't. They had Cordell Patterson. That would have been their starter. So.
Yeah, who can't catch a pass.
I mean, here's a good one, because they could probably revamp Michael the Burner Turner this way. That running game of the Falcons, particularly circa 2017.
Yeah. Hey, you threw it back, Victor. You threw it back with that
Michael the Burner Turner. Look, I thought he was going to say the original Dirty Bird and Jamal Anderson.
I thought you were going to
I thought he was going to go with Jamal Anderson. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more coverage of the first round draft powered by Snowman Multimedia. Back in a minute.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
So this thing called sports, it has fans again. It has full stadiums, full arenas, and more. And you want to be a part of it, don't you? Of course you do. If you begin to scour the resale market, there will be tickets available. And what you need to get those tickets that you want so badly is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app available to you that lends a hand in helping you get the tickets that you want for the events that you want. SeatGeek rates the tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, and the best part is the tickets are vetted for authenticity, so you know what you are getting and you know you are not getting scammed. And now you can save even more by using the code Snowman and getting $20 off with your very first purchase. Yes, you can do all of that with the power of SeatGeek, helping you get to the games that you want, so you fans can fan. So let's all fan.
I blinked for a minute, and Philadelphia's picking next. And the Bears and Philadelphia just swapped picks. Should we be surprised given how this draft has gone so far?
That's a problem.
No, we should not.
No,
That's
we
a
shouldn't.
problem.
I mean, Will Anderson went to the Houston Texans, for God's sakes.
Look what happened to the Cardinals and the Eagles. They just lost 2 picks.
Yeah.
Their stupidity.
Well, that's a problem now because
the Bears are picking 10, and the Eagles are picking right now. And too bad Kevin's not with us.
Well, we keep talking about Jalen Carter. Is it going to be Jalen Carter now?
Could it be Luca Van Ness out of Iowa? 6'5", 272?
Yeah. Could it be the tackle? Could it be the tackle? I don't know if they need a tackle.
I think the Eagles are going to address whatever weaknesses they had.
It'll be on their defense because they lost Javon Hargrave to San Francisco.
That's what I was thinking. I think it's probably going to be a defensive player. I would say probably the corner.
Yeah, the secondary needs shored up, big time. Secondary needs shored up because that was the big problem for the Philadelphia Eagles, and you saw it in the Super Bowl.
No. According to that, it was the grass here. That's what caused the Super Bowl loss for the Eagles. It was nothing else.
Lied?
It was our grass. The groundskeeper for that has been part of the Super Bowl since Super Bowl I. He said we didn't grow it right. It was too dry. It was painted wrong. It's all our fault. It was the grass.
Painted wrong.
Painted wrong.
Who told this lie?
Say it again, Victor, please.
Who told this lie?
Yeah, who told this? Who told this lie?
Oh, I was
the
groundskeeper. Now the Texans pick. How's Cole doing?
Asleep.
No,
I'll answer your question. Asleep.
It says Eagles pick is in.
Yeah, it says it's in.
They go defense.
Do they? Do they go Jalen Carter?
I think. I mean, for them trading up, they're obviously getting a player that could go off the board in the next pick. So
I'm thinking they're gonna go Jalen Carter if that's the case.
I'm thinking Jalen Carter as well.
To trade up, they're thinking that
they'll either go with Jalen Carter or Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. It'll be one of the. I believe it'll be one of those two.
You said that wrong. From the great of Iowa.
I didn't say it wrong. You did. This is where I tease Dietz all. This is where I tease Dietz all the time. I want to see. The Hawkeyes tradition at the end of the first quarter live, and I'm talking about in person from the booth. I want to see that live.
Hey, real quick, it said they just brought up on the screen their needs are defensive tackle, safety. I couldn't see the other three. I couldn't think cornerback. So
defensive tackle, safety, defensive end, inside linebacker.
They got to be taking. They got to be taking Jalen Carter right now.
That's all I'm thinking. Like,
I'm thinking Jalen Carter. Makes sense. It does.
Oh, here we
go. It makes a whole lot of sense for them to take Jalen Carter.
I could see Christian. I could see Christian Gonzalez for more.
And that's exactly who they get too. Jalen
Gonzalez,
Carter by the Eagles.
Jalen Carter. They go to Jalen Carter. Oh boy, they shored up their defense quick.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think that's the only reason why the Eagles would trade up, because they needed some help on the defensive side of the ball, and they either need a corner that can help them, or someone that could do some pass rushing, which would probably be Jalen Carter. So
now
why does he not look that happy? Out of all the players so far, he does not look that happy to be picked by the Eagles.
Because he thought he would go earlier.
that's possible.
All right. Speaking of Christian Gonzalez, it's going to be either him or local product Peter Skoronsky. That's the
grass didn't grow in the desert. Really, I'm shocked.
As far as I think it's going to be Peter Skoronsky. If they're going to go with someone who
I would not be surprised.
Or if they want to do someone under center, Olusegun Oluwatimi from out of Michigan.
That's the name that
he's celebrating that 50th birthday like a 50-year-old should. In the recliner.
In bed. Which is probably going to be me in a little bit, because I'm getting a signal from my body of I may be hitting the wall here. But we'll go as long as we can.
Yeah, don't push it. Don't push it.
I'm not. If I get the signal, I'm going to respectfully close up shop. I think I got to pick 12 2 years ago before my body went backwards. Let's see who the Bears pick. I'm thinking it's Peter Skoronsky out of Northwestern, which would be the second.
It's gotta be Peter Skoronsky.
If they take a defensive player here, we really have to question this move.
Could be Darnell Wright too.
Darnell Wright.
No. For the Bears, it's got to be O-line. For the Bears, got to be O-line.
Yeah, because you want to protect Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, you got to. The dude's been getting
murdered. He's going to be running for his life.
Come on.
And running right out of Chicago.
Yeah.
I go Peter Skoronsky.
He's literally died on the field 4 times. I mean,
just 4?
That's the times that I've seen it.
Just 4.
Wait
a minute. Did all 4 occur against the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium?
Hey, maybe. Micah Parsons was all over him.
Micah Parsons was a nut that game.
Yeah, he was.
Micah Parsons was like Ric Flair against Eric Bischoff, putting him in the figure 4 and still pinning him with a knee to the face. That's how crazy Micah Parsons went.
The Bears, if I'm the Bears brass, I gotta go O-line. I gotta go with someone who either seals corners.
But it makes no sense to trade up with Chicago. You know Chicago's not drafting a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the weird thing. But maybe they got cold. Maybe they got scared because they figured that the Falcons didn't pick so they had to go. They had to go next. So the Falcons didn't get Jalen Carter, then they're like, we got to go. We got to go get him now, otherwise he'll get scooped up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird.
Right.
Weird. Maybe they got scared and they said, let's jump the gun.
Well, what we're gonna do here, as far as this program goes, I'm really starting to feel it, and I won't push it. We'll go to the top of the hour, and then we'll shut it down. And we got to shut it down for CSTV at least, because they have a program coming on at 10. Ben, I hope this does you proud, my man.
Oh yeah. And we're definitely going to continue this next year.
Yes.
So, I don't want you to push it any,
because he knows he's going to a place where he has to sit for a year.
Yeah. Okay, anytime now, y'all can make the announcement. See, I hate getting notifications that the pick is in,
and then you wait like an extra 5
And then
minutes.
you have to wait an extra 5-6 minutes to find out what the blank pick is. I want to at least get to what the Packers do.
Not going to draft Uncle Foot.
Please no. We got rid of him. We got rid of the ever living. I don't want that back. I don't need that back. I don't want that back. That creature has now been placed in its sarcophagus and it's going to be thrown into the sun. That's the last we will see or hear.
But see, you would rot the sun, wouldn't you?
And then the grass wouldn't grow.
Well, we're in Chicago. We don't really have grass here anyway.
Hey, even Michelle's throwing shots now. Even Michelle's throwing shots now.
OT, I'm saying that they're probably gonna
They
go.
They got to go with Skoronski. They got to go with Skoronski. He gets a chance to stay home and protect Jalen Hurts.
Just call him the center for Michigan. We all know who he is.
Who?
And I had his name too.
Oh, Darnell Wright out of Tennessee.
Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
I told you.
What?
That's an odd pick for me.
Shut up, Ben.
That's an odd.
I'm looking at the experts board, and they had Darnell Wright or Skoronski.
They had him over Skoronski?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, like over Skoronski?
I mean, Cowboys Nation has been, and when I say Cowboys Nation,
Okay.
radio here been talking about Darnell Wright since the combine.
You mean just like 105.3 the Fan saying they should hurt Christian McCaffrey? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
All right. The Tennessee Titans at 11 are on the clock. And the two names in front of me are Christian Gonzalez and, oh my God. Do I need to say the second name? Will Levis. What?
Who?
We said this earlier, Snowman. If
Will
the
Levis
Bears
is
don't take an offensive lineman, everyone in Chicago needs to be fired.
I
Well,
agree.
they took an offensive
I
lineman.
agree. I side with Dietz on that one.
Well, they took an offensive lineman, and everyone gets to keep their job. So now Tennessee's
that remains to be
picking
seen.
11. Tennessee's picking 11. Then it's Detroit, Green Bay, New England, and then the Jets. And I think that's where I'm going to cut it off. But we will continue this next year, and hopefully, Ben, we work it so we'll be there with a booth.
Yes,
doing this live on location.
That's the plan.
Because I want to cover the combine next year in Indy. You know, and I want to take my wife with me so I can get her inside of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Don't forget, we got the NCAA here in Arizona next year.
Oh, that's definitely on the board.
Men's?
Yes.
We're on the clock right.
Yes.
We're on the clock already for it.
Yep. Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
And that's the second one they've hosted. The first one, of course, was 2017, where North Carolina won it all. So the Final Four is in Glendale. And I may be jumping the gun a little bit, and I hope this makes Ben smile, but we're making plans to be there, not only just for the Final Four in Phoenix, but for the Super Bowl in Vegas. I want Radio Row in Vegas. Pick us in for the Titans. And let's see who they pick. Which way do they go? Let me go to Dietz. Dietz, which way do they go? I think Dietz is mute. Dietz, you're muted, buddy.
We can't hear you, Dietz.
Dietz, you're muted.
Can't hear
Probably
you.
because he's eating. I've been eating most of the evening. Ben, which way do you think the Titans go with the pick being in now?
I think they go defense. I think obviously that their head coach, we know who he is, Mike Vrabel. So I think they go defense. Malik Willis is probably going to get the keys at some point, so I don't think they go offense. I think defense. And we've been talking about Van Ness, so you can say Van Ness. Or you could also say, who else would be there?
Or they were scared of the bear. They were scared of the Bears.
We apologize for some of our connection issues. Let me go to Michelle. Michelle, which way do you think they lean? Which do the Titans lean?
Defense. Definitely
Think they lean
defense.
Who's your pick? Who's your pick?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Be interesting to see who they pick. There's too many people, too many good players out there.
Yeah, too many variables.
Yep.
See, and earlier this month, someone asked me why I don't do a mock draft. This is why.
Yeah.
Because it gets smoked after the first couple of picks.
It's why we don't do brackets in March Madness, because one pick or one game and your whole bracket just blowing all the mess.
Well, I would say this: you could do brackets. Just don't do them for money.
Furman Paladins. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Furman Paladins.
Absolutely.
And fairly.
It's like we said before. It's these 15 minutes between the picks. I mean,
this is where we discuss any and everything.
This pick has been in for at least 5 minutes.
Yep. Speaking of any and everything, Michelle and I got a little project going on where we're going to do a weekly radio show in the future, and the concentration is not only going to be on sports but on mental health as well. Mm-hmm. This was her key. This was her idea, and she basically came to me and says, "Since you've been through it, I want you to spearhead it." And I said, "Okay, cool." And it'll be probably presented by the Be Daring Foundation. And we will get y'all details as they come along. Okay, this pick has been in for a while now.
I'm saying linebacker for the Titans.
I say they go with Christian going Gonzalez out of Oregon. He's too juicy for them not to take, especially given the defensive problems they had the first half of the season.
And their corners don't look that great.
No.
Even Rhino couldn't get rid of Monroe.
Watch me. If I gotta take classes with Mr. Bass on how to send people back
or
to
Justin
80s,
Fields,
I'll do so.
Stop. You and Bass in the same. Wait a minute. I've seen that movie before.
Yes,
it's called PSI Radio.
Yes, you have.
The fortunate thing for me is that you couldn't stop laughing.
No. I'm still laughing now. You just don't see it. I'm still laughing.
Y'all should play fantasy football with me, and then we'll see who's laughing at the end of it.
I'm not taking that bet. I'm not taking that bet.
I've won 11 years in a row, and I'm the only woman in my.
So Peter goes to Tennessee.
Pete Skoronski. Oh boy,
He's going to Tennessee.
I was wrong. That's what did Ron White say? That's profiling.
And profiling
is wrong.
We'll have to see. I find this to be kind of a mistake on the Bears, but I would have went Pete Skoronski.
All right, Detroit is next. They got a little over 4 minutes. Michelle has challenged me 6 different times. You should play fantasy football with me. Oh, hell no. I'm not going up against an expert and I'm a rookie. No.
I blame the former NFL players I play with, all right?
This is why you're going to be my fantasy expert on my program. I'm not messing with you. And this is the pick is in for Detroit. Michelle, bless her heart, was so innocent. She said, "You know what you should do?" And anytime I hear that, I cringe, and I mean that playfully. Anytime I hear that, I cringe. And Victor, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I said, What should I do? You should play in my fantasy football league. Oh hell hell no.
Absolutely not.
No, you know what? And the day she made that suggestion to me, my wife walked by, and I said, "Oh hell no, I'm not doing that." And Jody comes by, not doing what? Playing fantasy football. And my wife's response solidified it when she said, "Are you afraid she'll kick your ass?" Yes. And Jody, we mean this playfully, Michelle. Jody was cracking up laughing. Like, oh hell no, I'm not. If I'm not going to challenge Dietz in picking games for college football, why the hell would I challenge you in fantasy football? No,
I'll go easy on you. I promise. I'll pick all the weak players so you can have a chance.
Don't you ever tell me that lie again. You have a smile.
Coin.
You have a smile bigger than my children. No, I'm not taking that challenge.
Okay. I'll let you slide this time, but if we're going live, you're playing live. Sorry.
I have a thought.
I'm gonna get talked. I'm gonna get talked in. I feel like Victor. I'm gonna get talked into this anyway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get talked into this. Shut up, Victor. You ain't making this easy. Which way let me go to Ben real quick. Which way do the Lions lean?
That's a good question.
They must have
Nolan Smith.
They went running
back.
Jameer Gibbs, Alabama.
You know what? I was gonna say, like, if
this
I'm
is
the
one of
Lions,
this is one of Mike Debate's picks early in the
Lions. This is a good deal for me because from what I've seen this past year, they're going back to like the old Barry Sanders days where they're really short.
They're really running the football
run game. They're going to do
now
football.
Now the most interesting pick of the night.
Oh, the Cheeseheads, who cares?
Wow, they went
Victor,
running back.
Why is this?
Wow.
Victor, why is this so hilarious to me?
Because basically right now,
maybe y'all can answer this question outside of fatigue. Why is this pick so hilarious to me?
Because the Chiefs are on their ass right now. That's why.
They just got rid of their quarterback, so
exactly.
Right.
Their quarterback. They're like, now what do we do? It's kind of like Snowman.
Can you say deer in headlights?
Snowman, it's kind of like when you go to a drive-through place and you just say, "Let me have," and they're like,
"What the hell do I want?"
Pretty much.
That's kind of where Green Bay is right now.
This is what prompted that. Victor, our friend Craig, and a couple of others and I were covering a high school playoff game with Brother Wright's High School. And we knew we had to eat something before we went live, and we had to be at the stadium 2 hours prior. So we all made the choice to go to Burger King. I think, okay, I'll buy y'all some lunch. Fly through, and everybody made their order. I repeated it, and then it got to me, and Victor just peered at me. Victor's riding shotgun. Victor just peered at me and said, "Okay, anytime now," like with these picks. So I go Southern voice and I go, I would like to have, and I said the first part of my order. And they said, "Would you like anything else?" "I would also like to have," and then I pause for a moment and I look at everybody in the car and I go, "What the hell do I want?" And then I thought about what I wanted.
Probably the funniest exchange in a drive-through I've ever had. And
you haven't been around me and Jody yet.
Here's the thing with Green Bay, and if apparently we're going to be dealing with the Jonas Brothers before we even get to Green Bay's pick. I don't care, but
oh dear God, why?
I don't know. I don't know.
God. Why, Dietz? What'd you do to bring the Jonas Brothers on my screen now? What the hell did you do that for?
he invoked Mumra. Even he has a little like, I don't know. He invoked Mumra. This is what happens when you invoke Mumra. You bring in the Jonas Brothers.
Oh,
they couldn't bring in Taylor Swift because she's somewhere. Where is that?
That's the third time Taylor Swift has been mentioned on my programming this week.
Well, that's because
The other two
everybody feels
times
bad
dealt-
for what happened at our concert the other day where that kid got killed.
Yeah. The other two times dealt with Taylor Swift playing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and Janet Jackson playing at Phillips Arena.
Yeah.
70,000 against 20,000.
My question is this: do the Packers go receiver
Or tight end.
Or
Or
tight
tight
end?
end.
Some
Well, I mean, they still have
They need wide receiver, a tight end, a safety, outside linebacker, and defensive tackle. Those are their needs for a team that finished third for once in the North or in the NFC Central Division.
This could be the opportunity for Kincaid to come off.
That's the pick I'm looking at. Dalton Kincaid out of Utah.
Or Njigba from Ohio State if they want to go receiver.
Do they go receiver or do they go tight end? Which one? Because Jordan Love needs some targets.
I'm gonna say receiver. I'm gonna say wide out because I don't think they've really shored up the
Michael
hole that Devontae Adams
Michael
left.
Mayer is still on the board too.
Who's still on the board?
I personally don't think that
Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame.
Tight end, Notre Dame, right.
Yeah.
Mayer still on the board. Kincaid still on the board. Tucker Kraft. I think Kraft is going to go in the later rounds now.
I personally don't think that they filled the hole that Devontae Adams left.
Yeah. What's up, Michelle?
It says it does not appear as though a deal for Hopkins is going to happen. Is this the right move for the Cardinals?
No.
Other than getting no worse.
No. I mean, because if you keep Hopkins around, like Dietz and I talked about, and you and I talked about, Michelle, how toxic does that locker room get? How much more toxic does that locker room get? The pick is in for the Packers. That's who we're waiting on right now. We got about 18 minutes left in our program. And I want to thank everybody that has signed in, tuned in, chimed in with us. And I'm definitely going to wind up crashing tonight because I'm going to be up at 6:30 tomorrow morning because we got a birthday to celebrate. And I already warned Ben at the top of this program, everything that we got planned is going out the window.
Oh, yeah. Definitely off the rails tomorrow.
It's going to be we're going to be off the rails for 120 minutes tomorrow. And you know who finished this?
We're going to have an ATV party.
You might have to come up, Victor.
I don't mind.
Yeah, we're putting it out there for. I know Cool McCain's going to join us. Ben's going to join us. Sam's going to join us. The only
they went with defensive.
Lucas
Van Ness out of Iowa.
I'm guessing this is Green Bay's way of throwing in the towel. We're just going to tank this year.
Wow.
We go ahead and tank this year. This year belongs to
because Van Ness is not.
Oh,
because
look,
as much
Go Iowa
for you, Snowman.
I don't see him.
Always
Not for me.
If you have a question, just draft it.
What'd you say, Dietz? Dietz is having connection issues again. Now the Patriots are on the
If you ever have a question, just draft it from Iowa.
True.
When in doubt, go to Iowa.
Just what I need.
A, I'm glad I don't drink alcohol. B, I'm glad I'm not drinking any caffeine. C, I'm glad I don't see the Jonas Brothers. And D, one funny pick is out of the way. Because I borrow Victor's words. We don't need another summoning right now.
We really don't. That's what I was like. I'm not sure if the Packers need any real help on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be kept for later rounds.
And yet, which way did they go?
They went defensive end.
Which way did they go? Top of the hour for those of you on CSTV, you'll see Thursday Night Throwdown at its scheduled time because we're going to shut it down here at the top of the hour. Let me thank Michelle DeMaria, Chris Dietz, Ben Sutterth, Victor Locke, and everybody that joined us, Kevin Peoples included, that joined us for this live coverage of the draft. Next year, I promise I'm going to be strong enough to get through the full first round. I'm just not going to take any chances right now with me still healing and feeling the wall coming on. Pow! Head on. That's why I say we're going.
Yeah,
oh, we got to trade.
Yeah.
Trade alert.
Now the pick belongs to Pittsburgh.
And we still got the Jonas Brothers on. Oh, no.
Why move by Pittsburgh?
I'm sorry.
They need help.
Could you tell me the shortest route to... What did Bugs Bunny say? Can you tell me the shortest route to Pittsburgh? 2 minutes left on the clock for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the New York Jets are up next.
The Jets
So
are not a
Steelers
mess. They just got Aaron Rodgers. they're
Which
golden
makes
now.
them
They're
a
gonna be Super Bowl champs, according to him. That's what he said the other day.
Which means they're going to take the circle of L's. And it screws us all.
Okay,
He said
now I
the
finally see
Lombardi
it. Why?
Trophy is looking a little lonely, so they need another one in there. So they're going to be Super Bowl champs this year. He predicted it. I'm like, yeah.
Why are the Jonas Brothers up there?
Because that's all they could afford. Because they spent all the money on Patrick
The
Mahomes.
Jonas Brothers?
We don't care
Really?
about the Jonas Brothers.
I
Really?
love Patrick Mahomes, but his wife sometimes annoys me, so sometimes I have to go a cheap shot at him. I have much respect for him as a player, but sometimes his wife just gets on my nerves.
His brother annoys me more than his.
The one that's in trouble
wife.
that
Good
yeah.
God, my stomach hurts from laughing. And you're right, Michelle. My stomach hurts from laughing. The pick is in for Pittsburgh. And this is why I don't do mock drafts. This is why I don't do brackets. There's too much.
That's why I don't do fantasy football.
This has got to be. It's got to be offense. I mean,
Listen,
their defense.
Michelle,
is pretty.
I had my one victory year when my quarterbacks were Steve Young and Peyton Manning. I took my victory and I walked off.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
retire on top.
Yeah, look, that's the only year that I played and the only year I paid attention because AOL was my internet carrier at the time. when you had to exactly that sound right there. That sound right there.
It took like so long for something to load. It would just go like
Yep.
this. A photo, and you were like,
AOL Messenger too. Remember that where you had your cute little username?
Oh dear God, yes.
Yep. And you got the free Prodigy.
Finally,
disc. Yeah.
see, Prodigy kept pissing me off. Okay, because as soon as you would lock into it, it would kick off, wouldn't it? And it's like,
yeah.
And you had to use your phone line. So if someone made a phone call, you were dead.
You were screwed.
You were screwed.
And if you weren't supposed to be on the internet, and your parents found you on the internet, and you're really in trouble because you couldn't hide it.
You were a dead duck. Yeah. You a dead duck. Finally, we got smart and told AOL.
Yeah. All right. Finally, the pick is in. 16 hours later.
16 hours later. Roderick Jones.
Out of
Georgia.
Roderick Jones.
A lot of these trades are like, hey, we'll move up one spot or we'll move up like 2 spots. This is such a weird draft for people. Mm-hmm. They're like trading just to get one spot ahead, or like Philadelphia did. We'll just swap spots.
Swap places.
So this guy's nickname is Mr. Jewelry. I'm gonna call him Mr. Jewelry. Have you seen how much ice this guy has on? 2 rings, 2 bracelets. It's gonna be Mr. Jewelry. Mr. Jewelry just got picked.
With snakes all over him. I don't see the jewelry. I see snakes.
No, if you look in the little corner, he's got 2 rings on his left hand. See it?
Yeah, I see it.
That's a lot of ice right there. Mr. Jewelry just got picked. That's his nickname, Mr. Jewelry.
This man got.
Let's just hope his performance doesn't
everywhere.
Let's just hope his performance doesn't have the Steelers telling him.
But let's hope the snake doesn't come in the locker room with him either.
You like
snake?
Look, the problems we've had with AOL led to this, and
eventually, yeah, it led to that.
Oh. Here's one sound I'm going to play a lot for Cole tomorrow. You tripping?
Well, in 6 minutes, we're gonna have to find out who Mr. McCoffey's team picks now.
And that's 6
there. How about that?
The Jonas Brothers.
And there are still Jonas Brothers on my screen.
I'm not
the Jonas Brothers on my screen.
Wait a minute. And I'm not seeing the Jonas
$1 million
Brothers.
question.
Wait a minute. And I'm not seeing the Jonas Brothers. So I'm saying.
Yeah, lucky you.
You can't get more natural than that, man.
I got a few minutes.
You got the sound, but you got the sound bites going tonight.
Come on, Ben. You already know I have this handy, and I got a few minutes left, so I may as well empty the chamber. This is for everybody. With the Colts pick earlier in the night, all I have to say is. And of course, followed up with Mr. Bass.
What in the all type of blue?
Snowman, you better stay up. You better stay up for one more pick after this Jets pick, because your sports sensei partner is going to be coming for you based on the next
we'll go as far as the Redskins, and then I got to wrap it up.
The Washington effing morons, thanks to Wise. Not even the Washington morons, the Washington effing morons. Thanks to Wise.
Yep.
The biggest reason I got to wrap it up at the top of the hour, because tomorrow I'm going to be hearing.
Mister, will you please wake up?
Yeah. Better get that rest.
I have to. I gotta get my rest tonight.
It's a celebration tomorrow.
It was bad. I didn't think it would. I thought it would take a lot for me to convince Jody to record that liner for me. All she did was look at me and go, "Okay, how do you want it?" And then,
Mister, will you please wake up?
And I worked it into the intro.
It worked out. It worked out perfect.
And then Cole took over and worked Ben's. And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz cousin.
Who told him to put those chains on? I don't understand why he had all that.
The chains weighed more. The chains weigh more than him.
You saw how he had to droop his neck before because he had so much ice on.
Yeah, somebody told. So one of his teammates said, "Hey, put this on. This would look cool."
And they took a picture.
It did not. No, it did not.
And they took a picture.
It looked like a sketch comedy of In Living Color or
again, Gary with a bunch of chains on.
Right.
Again, you say
Jim Carrey with some chains on. Yeah, exactly.
You say this again. You say this to
we teased this. We teased this earlier, and the Jets are on the clock. And the Jets get Aaron Rodgers.
And
are they any better than they were yesterday?
No.
Hell no. Matter of
I'll
fact,
tell you right now, they're still
it's over Zach Wilson.
Wait. Let me answer this question the right way. Excuse me. Let me answer this question the right way. And this is a nighttime version of this. Hey, yo, Bishop, are the Jets any better with Aaron Rodgers?
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no.
Okay, what Jets What'd you say, Dietz? Because I knew you were going to go somewhere.
He already asked the question.
They get Aaron Rodgers. They trade for Aaron Rodgers. They're still the fourth best team in the AFC East.
Boy, they trade in
I
one
will-
mess for another mess.
I will do it again. Mr. Bullwinkle, are the Jets any better with Aaron Rodgers right now?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
I'll put
And
it like
this-
this. This whole thing with Aaron Rodgers was almost completely identical to LeBron-mania circa 2010, 2011, where everyone was wondering where he's going to go, and everyone who had a brain knew he was going to Miami. Everyone with a brain knew Aaron was going to the Jets.
My next one's for Michelle. So Aaron Rodgers said they'd be Super Bowl champions.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh, stop lying. Oh.
That's a classic one. That is a classic.
I just.
All right, Snowman.
All right, pick us in.
I gotta head out.
All right, Michelle.
I will chat with you later.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, bye. And pretty soon I'm going to be jetting out myself and shutting this one down. Pick us in for the Jets.
I
And
feel
I
like
don't-
Offense or defense?
Offense.
yes. They really. I don't know if they can go wrong with any pick
In
right
4
now. because
words,
Lord have mercy, they need
Hey,
help.
Ben, guys, in 4 words, these are the Jets.
Hey, the first tight end may come off the board.
That's true.
Kincaid,
That's true.
Musgrove.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Listen. That's my favorite part right there.
Wait. The first tight end may come off the board. Wait, did you say the first tight end may come off the board to the Jets?
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
I know that's one of your other favorites, so I had to give you that one.
Appreciate that.
Wait a minute. I'll give you another one. The Jets drafting a tight end?
That dude is hilarious, man. Side note: if you haven't seen Cocaine Bear, you'll see it. It's on Peacock. It's a weird movie, but that guy's in it. The Sheed guy's in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I gotta see it now. Now you said that.
Now I have to see it.
That was Ray Liotta's live role too.
Gonna end this with just as the I gotta end this because Thomas is giving me a word right now. Oh, he's giving it. Yeah. That was our warning. We got 120 seconds left.
Well, looks like we're finally gonna get the pick for the Jets.
All right, let's hear it.
Pick is in.
So let's hear it.
Bring it to us. Bring it.
Goodell, we understand you're trying to, talk about your Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's great. Can we get to the pick, please?
I got to drag it out as long as possible. This really should only take an hour, but it ends up taking 3.
Roger Goodell's taking a whole bunch of.
Name a year he has not taken L's.
He eats L's.
Yeah, he eats them.
Come on. My goodness.
All right, we're gonna end this with CSTV. All right, CSTV is off the board now, so we're gonna stick around a little bit. We're gonna stick around a little bit more. We'll see what the Jets do. Oh dear God, Jets getting better.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Oh, Ben, this one's for you. Will McDonald.
Will McDonald.
Outside linebacker. What is he?
A linebacker.
Dear New York Jets.
Expecting that.
Dear New York Jets.
Coffee.
Dear New York Jets brass.
You're fired. My condolences, Mr. McCoffee.
My condolences indeed. I got another. What did I just say? The Jets are taking a whole bunch of. Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I really don't know.
I mean, maybe they saw something we didn't, because I don't know how bad were the Jets on defense? I don't think they were that bad.
They weren't. I mean, they have C.J. Mosley, DJ Reed. Oh, sorry, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams at linebacker. But we got to remember their coach is Salah. Salah is the defensive-minded coach. It kind of makes sense that they would go defense, even though I thought they would have went. They could have went tight end. I mean, the pressure was tight end. Right?
Pick is in for the Redskins.
Clearly, they were listening to the program, because you see where this kid played at.
Yes, Iowa State. Yeah, they were listening.
When in
They
doubt,
were listening to us earlier today.
When in doubt, pick the kid from Iowa.
Pick the kid, right?
It doesn't matter what side.
Doesn't matter what side they're on.
Next up is the Washington effing Mormons.
Bleep. 30 seconds. We'll be back.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
We're still waiting for the Redskins to announce their pick. And I like Victor's version better. The Washington effing Morons.
Thank Wise. And now Wise has his opening graphic. He has his visual.
He has his visual. He has his visual. While we got a moment, I'm really going to make Ben laugh with this one.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPM, now approve all this.
I had to.
Cold.
The hat keeps getting me every time.
Man. Yeah, Yo-Kang. First time I heard that, I almost veered off the road laughing. Yeah.
The hat always gets me.
Gets you. Wait a minute. What, Ben? We did something Cole and I did something this morning, and I just happened to catch it. Running and pull trash.
Who do you think? Okay, Snowman, off topic. Who do you think is going to get the next 21 Trace salute?
The Lakers. No, check that. The Kings. I hate saying it.
I think
I hate saying it.
I think it ended up being the figurative for us, the Kings. The Kings.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that though, because they're such a wonderful team to watch.
They're hot right now. They are hot right now.
But unfortunately for the Kings, so are the Warriors. That's what's scary. The Warriors are catching fire at the right time.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for Sunday when the Lakers get eliminated and I can do this.
Trays.
Well, the Grizzlies got to get the next game before we can get to that.
I know. Don't remind me. I know. While we're waiting on the Redskins pick.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPN, now approve all this.
So you know I'm going to wear that out tomorrow, Ben.
I think what gets me with that is that
The hat. The hat.
It's not just the hat. He looks like he's trying to cosplay as Stevie Wonder, is what that looks like to me.
You nearly made me spit my water out. Shut up.
That's what it looks like to me. It looks like he's trying to cosplay as Stevie Wonder.
See, and Dietz is just so comfortable right now because you muted again, Dietz.
I'm not muted. I'm just
okay.
off.
You're just off. Oh, here
Yeah,
you go.
I'm not muted. I'm good. It's just my internet goes in and out, so it's. But that's why I'm in the war room. You gotta be comfortable if you're gonna last through the NFL draft. You gotta be comfortable.
That's a fair point.
Emmanuel Forbes is now the selection of the Redskins. The Patriots are next. They got 7 minutes on the clock there. Let me thank everyone that watched this on a CSTV. They're in the midst of Thursday Night Throwdown. Those of you sticking with us on BS3 TV as well as our YouTube channels, thank you for that. Thank you to Dietz and to Victor and to BS3 himself. Let's see. The first time tonight I could have played this should have been for the Colts. Ready? And pull. Trash.
Yeah. The next one would have been for the Jets.
Ready? And pull. Trash.
Actually, the second one should have been for the Packers.
I almost forgot about that one. Yeah, you haven't played that one in a minute, huh?
No.
What?
That's usually for Wednesday.
Hell.
Yeah, I usually save for Wednesday.
Yeah.
But given the fact that this is the draft, and y'all know I'm a game show buff, I forgot to play this one. That's a little Joker's Wild for you. Huh?
I can't do like how cold does it.
I'm not going to. I can't. Ready? And pull. Trash.
The Pats.
All right, I'm getting ready to head out too, guys.
All right, Ben.
You're gonna shut it down.
I am
going.
Within the next 10 minutes. I'm going to shut it down because now the wall is staring at me and laughing at me.
He's like, come on.
I hear you.
Yep.
Great show, man. Great show.
Oh, thank you. And you know, tomorrow,
Mister, will you please wake up?
it's going to start the day. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and should I do it? Yeah, they made Christian Gonzalez now to the Patriots. I think we're going to shut it down here. Ben, thank you so much for carrying this. Dietz and Victor, thank y'all so much for hopping in with us, and thanks to everybody that
Thanks for having me.
that play ball this tonight. I really appreciate you guys. 8 a.m. tomorrow, Snowman in the morning will start your day. Thanks, everybody. God bless you.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace.